judge Bruce McPherson, and the back judge Ken Wilson. Our reporter is Chip Baldwin.
Well, welcome to Dixie High School down in St. George, Utah, where we have the 2018 Class 4A state quarterfinals. And tonight, well, I should say this afternoon, the Spanish Fork Dons have made the trek down to Dixie to take on the Flyers for an opportunity to play next week in the state semifinals. Great to be with everybody here from Dixie High School. Ryan Pickens alongside Andrew LaRose. And Andrew, when you take a look at these two matchups, boy, both of these teams close mirror images of one another and the way they're going to do it. Both are led by great quarterbacks and have had great seasons this year. Just one or two things have gone the opposite way for each team this year.
Yeah, it's been a phenomenal season for both teams. Obviously, Dixie here with the home field advantage, but Spanish Fork is not a team that's going to be an easy out for the Flyers. In fact, they have a common opponent that both teams played, Springville. Spanish Fork was able to come away with a victory. Dixie lost their season opener to Springville, but ever since then they have been perfect. And just like you said there, Ryan, like they both have great offenses, but they do it in a little bit different way. With Dixie, it's all about Reggie Graff, their dual threat quarterback. He's able to throw the ball, but more importantly, and probably a little bit more dangerous for Spanish Fork, is the fact that he can scramble, the fact that he can be able to make some out of sequence type plays, and so it's going to be up to them to really contain him. But on the Spanish Fork side, of course, everybody knows Parker Swenson. Everybody knows that he's one of the best pocket passers in the state, and it is going to be all up to him and his receivers to kind of keep pace with these Dixie Flyers.
Spanish Fork struggled a couple of weeks back against the Orem Tigers with an offense with a quarterback in Cooper Laga who does a lot of the same things that Graff does here tonight. So that's going to be a test. But does that matchup being late in the season help the Dons in preparation for tonight's game?
I would think so. I think that being able to have that experience against a dual threat quarterback, being able to kind of see how they might be able to mix up their coverages, how they might be able to blitz him, how to make him uncomfortable, and then how to make sure that they have a spy there to be able to make sure they keep containment on the quarterback. That's going to be huge for Spanish Fork.
It'll be interesting to see. Spanish Fork will get the football first here in just a minute or so. The Dons wearing the all-white with the silver helmets. We also want to remind you, you can catch this game on our YouTube page, youtube.com/SpanishFork17. Also on sfcn.org by hitting the live, watch now button on the top of your screen. Great to be with everybody. We're set and ready to go. The winner of this one will get either Park City or Skyview on the 8th. That's a 6 p.m. kickoff up at Rice-Eccles Stadium up in Salt Lake City. We are set and ready to go with Miles Keenan, who will get ready to kick it away here for the Dixie Flyers. And back deep to receive the kickoff is number 22, Dallas Iera. We're set and ready to go with football from St. George, and we're underway. And Iera will bring this one from the 2-yard line. Out across the 10, and he's dropped, and the special teams return. Getting there, I believe, was the senior linebacker, Leighton Kahoney, number 20, getting there to make the tackle.
Nice play there by Kanaoi. He is able to go in completely unblocked and just absolutely sprints to the ball carrier there. Nice play, sets up Spanish Fork in not a great place here for their opening drive.
They're going to start at about their own 11-yard line with their senior quarterback, Parker Swenson, who for a first-year starting quarterback has really put together quite the senior campaign, and he'll get the Dons started here on first down, as it will be Zach Buse getting the call straight ahead. Buse will get a couple there on first down, but then he runs into a whole host of Flyers there for a couple of yards, bringing up a second long.
Yeah, it's going to be important for the Dons to be able to stay ahead of the sticks or stay ahead of schedule, as you will. Those 3-yard gains don't seem like a big deal, but it is going to be a big deal for the Dons in this one.
Buse again in the backfield. Swenson's going to roll out. Now stops, looks back over the middle. A dangerous pass, incomplete. Looking for Trey Lofton. That brings up third down. Anytime a quarterback, Andrew, goes to throw a cross over the middle, you kind of have to breathe that sigh of relief that one goes incomplete.
Oh, it's absolutely dangerous. Even with a guy as talented as Swenson, you just do, as you said there, Ryan, you just take that deep breath and just like, oh boy, man, because that's when you know the coverage could potentially be there, and it's not a great throw.
Third down and 7 for the Dons. Swenson throws this one, has a man. That's enough for a first down. That, I believe, is going to be Trey Lofton for a first down. And Spanish Fort finds a way to convert. They're on third down. Let's take a moment here, and let's take a look at our Triple T heating, cooling, and plumbing keys to the game. Right here, Spanish Fort needs to do these 3 things, Andrew, to have a shot. We'll talk about those more here in a minute. Zach Buse with the call straight up the middle, and Connor Walden, number 90, right there to take it back for a few-yard loss. Now let's take a look at those Triple T heating, cooling, and plumbing keys to the game.
Yeah, the first one on there is to win the turnover battle. This is going to be huge for the Dons. The Flyers have done so well at not turning the ball over, so the Dons defense really needs to do a good job of trying to create those turnovers and give themselves an opportunity.
They get it out quickly. Here's Iera, his first catch. He breaks a tackle, but then is quickly brought down by the linebacker, Kahonai there again, number 20 on the tackle.
A nice job there by Swenson to get it out to a playmaker there in Iera. He's definitely one of the faster guys on the team. As we were talking about, the second key to the game here is containing dual threat quarterback Reggie Graff, which we talked about at the beginning. It's going to be key to make sure that they account for not only his passing ability, but for his running as well.
Swenson going to step up, looking over the middle, has a man out there as it was number 4, and there comes the penalty flag as it was the safety, Tyson Miller, who had a hold of the jersey of the wide receiver across the middle there, and then the penalty flag came in after Miller threw him to the ground. So we'll see here. My guess is probably has to be a defensive hold.
Oh, it absolutely has. It has to be. He's got a whole handful of jersey. Yeah, it's got to be.
And it'll be pass interference here against Dixie, which will give Spanish Fork a first down. The final key, the offense needs to be efficient tonight. Really, they need to take advantage of opportunities and need to find a way to get in the end zone. You're going to need some touchdowns tonight to beat Dixie.
Oh, absolutely. They've got to be able to go toe-to-toe with this high-flying Flyer offense.
First down and 10, ball on the 39-yard line, and it's straight up the middle. Here's Buse, cuts it back up the middle, and I think he slipped on the turf. Buse will get about a half yard there. Interesting to see Zach Buse getting a lot of the carries early on. We saw Buse earlier in the season against Salem Hills where he really all of a sudden jump-started the offense early on. So Buse seems to be the workhorse here in the early going. He's back there again. High snap. Parker Swenson able to collect it. Gets outside the pocket, and he'll just kind of throw this one towards the sideline, incomplete, to bring up third down and long.
See, and that's the mark of a good senior quarterback there, knowing when to give up on a play. It's so easy to try to stretch it out, try to think that you can get a yard, think that you can make a crazy pass, but I think that was the right move there by Swenson. Just throw it towards the receiver and live for another down.
Third down and 9. Spanish Fork looking for the Dons' 49-yard line right here, and they'll try to do it with 4 wide receivers. Swenson back to pass, has some time, looking over the middle, has a man, that's Iera right at the sticks. He makes a move backwards though, and will be about a yard shy of the marker right there. If he had the forward progress, Andrew, he might have been right on the line, but just gets pushed back about a half yard. But they're actually going to say a yard and a half short.
Yeah, that's kind of a hard situation because he's up in the air when he catches the ball, gets shoved back, and he's just trying to make a move for his team, making sure that they get that first down. But unfortunately for him, not able to make that move, and it's going to be fourth down.
And Noah Conway is on, and so is Spencer Red. And Spanish Fork looked like they were lining up for the field goal. A timeout was called by the Dixie Flyers with 9:08 to go here in the first quarter. No score. The opening drive for Spanish Fork. Andrew, and this is a situation now where it's one of those big early decisions here for head coach Preston Parrish as to, do you roll the dice and try to get the 2, or do you just try to pin Dixie back deep?
Yeah, it's really hard. And that's probably why there's a timeout here by the Flyers. They're trying to figure it out as well. This is a huge decision. It would be really great for the Dons to be able to figure out a way to get these 2 yards, be able to keep this drive going. But at the same time, it is a good place for them to potentially punt and be able to pin the Flyers back and make them have to drive the whole length of the field to get their first points.
So we'll see here what the decision is, and the offense is going to stay on the field for Spanish Fork with 9:08 to go here in the first quarter. The Dons are going to roll the dice on 4th down and 2. Two backs in the backfield, Boyack and Buse, joined by Swenson. Here's Boyack, straight ahead, has the first down into Flyer territory. It's a first down for Spanish Fork. He's brought down at the Dixie 46-yard line.
Oh, perfect play there by the coach, just drawing it up. Getting two backs in the field, just being like, okay, who am I handing it off to? And they do a great job of reading it, and it is a great fourth down conversion as this drive gets to continue.
Dons into Dixie territory for the first time this afternoon. Parker Swenson to throw, takes that one over the middle. That's complete to Iera, and right there immediately to make the stop was Jackson Reyes, the linebacker.
It's a nice throw there by Swenson. You know, nothing too crazy there, just a nice little simple 5-out route there by Iera. But those are the kind of plays that are going to be important for this offense, as we talked about in our keys. It's about being efficient. It's about taking the shots when you can, but also making sure you get the yards when you can.
Here's Swenson on the keeper, pump fakes, and then takes off. He'll get a first down inside the 30-yard line. It takes a punishing hit at the end there, and I think delivered a nice blow as well. And it's a first down for Spanish Fork inside the Dixie 30.
Man, what a read by Swenson. He's able to pull it away from his running back and then just sees a lane and he goes for it. He may be a pocket passer, but he does have some mobility.
The pump fake was the part that got me there at the end. Here's the give straight up the middle. This time it's Buse on the outside. He's inside the 20, down to about the 17-yard line, and that's a first down here for Spanish Fork. Sorry, it's going to be a second and about a yard coming up here. And for the first time tonight, Spanish Fork's in the Prime Mortgage Lending red zone.
Yeah, they're looking really great on this opening drive. Nice job here by Buse. He's looking great on this first drive, running hard and running through the tackles, doing a great job.
Second down and 1 from the 18. Swenson back to throw, steps up, rolls away. Now feels the pressure, gets outside the pocket, looking downfield, throws it to the back of the end zone. Has Iera, did he get it in bounds? And it's going to be a touchdown, Spanish Fork to Iera. It's 6-0 Dons.
My goodness, what a play there by Swenson. The pocket presence to be able to scramble out, and the awareness to also be able to make another move to make sure that he's able to get himself a nice passing lane there, and a great catch by Iera right there in the corner of the end zone. Exactly what the Dons needed here on their opening drive.
Two receivers, Brandon Congdon was there, and now the extra point for Spencer Red is going to be through the uprights, and Spanish Fork has found a way to have an opening drive that ends in a touchdown. 7:33 to go in the first quarter. Spanish Fork leading Dixie 7-0 here on Spanish Fork 17, and the impressive thing about that throw, Andrew, is the fact you have Brandon Congdon running a route short of where Iera is, and then Iera's kind of running the deeper version. So Parker Swenson has two options there. One of them 6'5", and he just put him up there, and Iera's able to find it in the back of the end zone.
Hey, just because he's 5'9" doesn't mean he can't get up. He's actually such a great athlete, Iera is, and so it is a nice play there, nice drop to be able to be like, hey, if it's right there with the 6'5" target, we'll go for it. But if not, hey, we still got the guy in the back of the corner to still get it.
So we'll see the Dixie offense here for the first time tonight. Dixie's a team 9-1. They went 6-0 in Region 9. They lost their opener 26-21 to the Springville Red Devils, and then they won every other game throughout the year, and most of them, Andrew, pretty decisively outside of a 6-point win against Snow Canyon and Pineview. Most of them have been double-digit victories.
Yeah, they've looked incredibly impressive this season. After that little lull in the opener and then that two little stretch there, as you talked about with Snow Canyon and Pineview, these guys really have been dominant all season long. There's a reason that they are in this tournament and that they're seated the way they are.
Riker Barton kicks this one deep. It's going to be Mahi back deep from about the 4-yard line. Out across the 20 and being brought down. That was not Mahi. That was Tyler Walden, number 8 on the return. And Walden gets him out right around the 22-yard line where they will start. We mentioned it earlier, the 6'1" junior quarterback, Reggie Graff, has thrown for almost 2,000 yards, 18 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions, and then add another close to 500 yards and 12 touchdowns on the ground. How do you contain him if you're Spanish Fork tonight?
It's a great question, and it's something that the defensive coordinator has probably been having some restless nights about. This is a very talented quarterback here in Reggie Graff, but expect to see some blitzes, expect to see some just bland coverages with some opportunities for some spy work. They're going to have to make sure that he doesn't gash them too much on the ground.
Graff on first down there with lots of motion, able to take just a quarterback keeper up ahead, and he'll get about 3 or 4 there on first down to bring up a second and about 6. And that's one thing we'll see tonight from Dixie, is we'll see how the Flyers really use the weapons around Graff to see how they're going to try to go after Spanish Fork.
Yeah, they definitely have some great weapons. They have a couple of receivers in Mahi. For example, Mahi is a phenomenal one. He's definitely done a great job. They do a lot of jet sweeps, different things to be able to kind of keep offenses off balance.
Here's a completion out to number 13, and that is Josh Kazir. That's number 13. That's Keaton Schweitzer on the catch there for a couple of yards there, and just going back to the simple screen. But there was, again, another quarterback run option on that play.
Yeah, you're going to see a ton of that in today's game here with the Flyers. That quarterback run option is always going to be pretty much baked into every single play.
3rd down and 6. Weston Banuelos, the back, right next to the quarterback Graff, who will throw on 3rd down. Looking downfield, has a man, threw it low, and did he get it in there complete? They're going to say, and Spanish Fork's trying to say it's not a catch, and they're going to say he did. That's Travis Muir, number 14, and that's going to be enough for a Dixie first down. Preston Parrish out talking to the official right there on the far side of your field.
As he should be. It looks like they may have been able to rip it out, but, it's hard to know, hard to tell. Looks like he may have had possession before it was ripped out, and so you got to go with the benefit of the doubt there with the ref. But a nice throw there by Graff, and obviously a great catch there by Muir.
1st and 10 from a 38-yard line, and it will be Graff ready to go. Here's that just little screen option. They get it out there complete. That is, I believe, Mahi on the catch there. And a good pickup there with just a little screen pass to pick up 3 or 4.
Oh, yeah, and kind of same thing with Spanish Fork. Like, you want to be efficient on offense, and that's what you're seeing here from the Flyers so far. They're just taking what the defense is giving them. They've got some great playmakers out on the boundary in Mahi and Muir and Kajir. These are guys that you can throw those little bubble screens, and they make yards. They get those yards after the catch, and they give you something a little extra.
2nd down and 7 coming up here for Dixie, as they'll send man in motion. Here's Banuelos. First time we've seen him tonight out in some space, and Banuelos will pick up another 3 or 4 yards. And as an offensive coordinator, if you can pick up that 3 or 4 yards a carry, or a 3 or 4 yards a play, you'll take it any time to set up 3rd down and 2s and 3s like we have here, a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Absolutely. That is, as you said, an offensive coordinator's dream. You just want to get those decent chunks on 1st and 2nd down so you've got manageable third down situations. You never want to be stuck in 3rd and long situations, but so far they've done a good job of staying in that short range on 3rd down.
3rd down and 2 again from shotgun is Graff. He will look to throws this one. Jumping the route was Kimball Peterman, and that one goes incomplete, brings up 4th down. Peterman read it and almost had a play there on the interception, but instead it brings up 4th and 2. Now decision time the other way, and it looks like the Flyers may be content just to punt here on their opening possession of the ballgame.
I mean, it's a fair decision here by the Flyers to go ahead and punt it. Obviously try to pin the Dons back in there, pin them back, make them go the full length of the field again. That's unfortunate for the Flyers. It looked like they had an opportunity there, but, man, just a nice jump of the route there.
Miles Keenan with the punt. Ayera comes up to receive it, and Ayera's immediately dropped there. Ethan Emerson, number 24, the first Flyer there to make the tackle. And with 5:12 to go in the first quarter, Spanish Fork will see if they can follow up their first drive with a touchdown here as they'll get ready to start their second drive. Let's take a moment here to thank our sponsors for making each and every broadcast possible here on Spanish Fork 17. We got the Blue Diamond Auto Group, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, MVP Sports, Prime Mortgage Lending, Mikkel Christiansen and Wise, Attorneys at Law, Two Jacks Pizza, and Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance. We thank them for help making every broadcast possible. And of course, it's kind of fun to be in a new location down here at Dixie High School for the state playoffs. I was talking with one of the coaches today for Spanish Fork when they got there, and he was pleasantly surprised that we were here today. But we were really happy and excited to make the trip right here down to sunny St. George, where we had really a picture-perfect day for football. Blue sky, and it's like 70 degrees. It's a lot nicer than the 45s we've been having in Utah County.
Oh, it's absolutely perfect. I love the Red Rock here. I love the weather. I really just love everything here. Even the drive down was lovely, and it's a long drive from Utah Valley, folks. It's a long drive, but you know what? It was totally worth it. This is an absolutely beautiful venue. The turf here on this field is absolutely gorgeous. It's a great day for football, and we love that Spanish Fork is in this game and that we get the privilege of being able to be down here in St. George again.
So we'll see here what happens as Spanish Fork will start from their own 9-yard line. I believe there was a penalty against Spanish Fork. The explanation, I think, given to head coach Preston Parrish on the far side of the field as we're ready to play some football. Parker Swenson will be joined in the backfield. That's Kimball Morley, the first time we've seen Morley in the backfield tonight for Spanish Fork. And we're ready to go here on 1st and 10. Don's leading 7-0 on Dixie. And back to give it here on 1st down. Kimball Morley breaks a couple of tackles. A penalty flag's thrown in. Morley will pick up 3 or 4, but this penalty in the area of holding usually. And we'll wait to see here what the call is, though, from our officials. It's going to be against Dixie. So we'll end up helping Spanish Fork there. They'll move it out to the ball out to the 14-yard line, and now whistles blow right here. And we're set and ready to go. This is a Dixie program that has seen great success, especially when they were in the 3AA. That year we had the 3A and then we had the 3AA classification. Now they'll tack on a couple extra yards for the penalties. It will end up being a 1st down for Spanish Fork out to the 19. In 2015, Dixie was the 3AA runner-up. 2014, they were the 3AA champions, and then in 2016, they were the 3AA semifinal appearance. So Dixie very used to trying to win a quarterfinal. They're very comfortable playing here at home, and now penalties fly here on 1st down. And I think this is going to be a procedure call against the Dons. So the Dons will back up now 5, and they're kind of the previous penalty against Dixie, and this one will balance each other out.
Yeah, it really does, unfortunately. And actually, it tacks on, makes it 1st and 15, which is not a great situation. Never want to be in 1st and longer than 10. Looks like they were just a little jumpy there and didn't quite know what to do with the stunt move there that Dixie pulled.
Back to throw with some time. Swenson throws in the middle, throws it high over the head of Conway, almost towards Tyson Miller, number 4 for Dixie. And that one lucky there to go incomplete. If you're Spanish Fork and if you're Parker Swenson, you'll be wanting that one back.
Yeah, a little dangerous there. He was wide open, like it was the right read to go to Noah Conway, but maybe just a little bit jumpy, a little bit of extra pep on that throw, and it nearly got intercepted. They definitely need to breathe in, breathe out, and do better on this 2nd down play.
2nd down at 15. Here's the draw play to Kimball Morley. And Morley is going to be brought down by Jake Staley, the senior middle linebacker, the leading tackler for this Dixie team. And right there, he'll do a nice job in the middle of that 3-4 defense from the Dixie Flyers.
Staley's probably going to have a few more tackles in this game. He has been an absolute monster in the middle for the Flyers, and so definitely expect to hear his name called a couple more times in this game.
3rd down at 9. Parker Swenson will get ready to drop back to throw. With some time, he pump fakes, takes a shot deep, has a man out there, but overthrew that was Trey Lofton. He was running stride for stride right there with Harrison Beezer, and that will bring up 4th down. And now I would imagine we'll see Riker Barton for the first time tonight come in to punt, and back deep will be Schweitzer along with Mahi for Dixie to return. They're back at their own about 37-yard line. Barton punting from inside his own 10 with the rugby-style punt from the 10 is a nice punt right in the air. Plenty of hang time, but returned by Schweitzer, who's going to break a tackle and go right into the middle of the defense there for Spanish Fork. A nice job by Schweitzer, gets it out to the 44, and that's where we'll see Dixie start their next possession. The Flyers did some things that you could see potentially would cause some problems on their first drive, but now Dixie has to maybe build off that first drive.
They really do. They had some good things going, as you said there, Ryan. Like, they did a good job of working Graff and getting him on his feet and getting him going. But he had that nice throw that he was able to convert on 3rd down as well. So there's some ingredients that you can take from that first drive that they could potentially mix up to make a better one here on their second attempt.
1st down and 10 coming up here for Dixie. as Graff ready to go. Banuelos again in the backfield next to Graff. And here's the throw. Graff gets it out to Schweitzer, who makes the catch. And then right there to make the stop is going to be Dakota Conway, number 7, who is right there from his linebacker spot. And it'll bring up a 2nd and long.
Yeah, great read by Conway. This time they saw the bubble screen from a million miles away, able to read it and able to get over there quick.
Brings up a 2nd and 11 after the loss of 1 yard right there for the Dixie Flyers. 7-0 lead for Spanish Fork here, 3:19 to go in the first quarter here from Dixie High School. Ready to go, trips to the bottom, or bunch formation to the bottom of your screen. Right here as Graff back to throw with some time, takes a shot deep, looking for his man out there who got beat. Zach Buse, I think, may have gotten away with a little bit of a push, but that will bring up a 3rd down right there. Buse, I think, definitely had some contact there, but just put a little bit out there in front of Miles Keenan, number 11.
Yeah, it was the right throw. It was a decent read, but yeah, you definitely saw a shove. It was not. It was good coverage, and he needed to try to get some separation. But that one definitely could have been flagged. So actually, a little bit of a break there for the Flyers, but they still got to deal with 3rd and long.
So it'll be 3rd down and 11. They need to get to the Spanish Fork 45. They'll send Mahi in motion. Low snap. There's the give back to the opposite way to Banuelos. And Banuelos gets to the 48-yard line, so he's well short of the marker. It will bring up a 4th down and about 6 coming up. And I would imagine here, if you're Dixie, you're going to probably elect to play the field position game.
Oh, absolutely. They did it on the last drive as well. That was a nice job by Banuelos to get the yards that they could. I think the draw is a nice safe play, but we'll see if they can pin the Dons here deep here on this punt.
Miles Keenan gets the punt away after a high snap. A nice high spiral. Iera calling fair catch inside the 10, down at the 6-yard line. And we saw Miles Keenan punt in pregame, and he put one inside the 1-yard line. The last thing they did in warm-ups, they had a punt, and they did the punt coverage. He put it inside the 1, so he's definitely going to be a weapon tonight for the Dixie Flyers. But Spanish Fork will start inside their own 10, their worst starting field position of the evening here. And now, if you're Parker Swenson, we'll see another back come in. We'll see Marco Williams, number 20, check in at tailback here with 2:23 to go here in the first quarter. Swenson back to throw, puts this one incomplete. Just put it away there from Noah Conway. That one goes incomplete to bring up 2nd down.
Again, right read. He's seen Conway. Conway is one of his favorite targets, but he's just a bit off. The chemistry today is a little bit off on these throws, so we'll see what they dial up here on 2nd down.
They've had those throws, which will be interesting to see what happens as the game progresses. 2nd down and 10, back from their own 6 for Spanish Fork. Back to throw with some time. They'll get it out there again. Tries to get it to Conway, but just too far out in front, and it brings up a 3rd and 10.
That one hurts. That's just bread and butter there. That's a simple curl route. Nice job there by Conway to run it, but just a bit off over towards the fingertips of Conway. Again, the chemistry just isn't there right now, but hopefully here on this 3rd and long, they've got something dialed up here to keep this drive going.
The Dons need the 16. Back to throw. Swenson pump fake. Rolls away from the pressure in the end zone. Stops. Takes a shot over the middle, and that one's almost intercepted. Tyson Miller, number 4, jumping in there and deflecting that one away to bring up 4th down.
Nice play there by Miller. He was so close to having a game-changing interception. Again, one of those dangerous throws there by Swenson. Again, trying to extend the play, trying to keep this drive going. Kind of throws that back foot over towards the middle throw, but ooh man, that was just not a great read, and they are lucky that wasn't picked off.
Dixie should get good field position here. Penalty flags fly as Riker Barton was about to put that one in the air, and I would think by where that one was, we'd have a procedure call against Spanish Fork, and we will, and that would move it back half the distance to the goal. So now the ball will be moved from the 6 back to the 3-yard line, and the Dons will be punching from even deeper in their own end zone.
Not exactly giving their puncher a lot of room.
Barton's going to have to get it off quickly, and there's another whistle and another penalty flag and another, it looks like, illegal procedure call. As in other levels, they call it false start. but at the high school level, it's an illegal procedure. And so it will move the Dons back now from the 3-yard line to the 1.5. So Riker Barton's almost just going to have to catch it, just kick it.
Yeah, the line's just a little bit jittery, and it's really costing them.
Barton's going to get the punt off. Pressure came. It's a really pretty good kick. Mahi from the 40 on the return to the bottom part of your field. Mahi to the 20, cuts back, and he'll be out of bounds at around the 11-yard line. Iera was on the ground on the bottom of your screen, and I think he got caught up in wanting to know where the penalty flag was. And then Mahi just took it back to that far side, Andrew, and gets Dixie into the Prime Mortgage Lending red zone here, and they'll start at the Spanish Fork 12.
Oh, yeah. If you're the Flyers, you absolutely love that punt return. As you saw there, Iera definitely on the ground. Seemed like there may have been some issues there with the coverage, but, man, a nice return there by Mahi. He's definitely got some jets.
Reggie Graff ready to go. Banuelos in the backfield. Mahi in motion. Here's Banuelos inside the 10 to the 5. Lowers his head. He's down to about the 4-yard line. And he'll bring up a second down and about 2 here for for Dixie. And the Flyers knocking on the door of trying to tie this one up.
See, and there's that deception that we were talking about. Mahi goes on the jet sweep there after he just burned them on that punt return. Uses that deceptive speed to be able to kind of trick the Dons and be like, oh, do we need to cover Mahi? And then they hand it over to Banuelos, who gets a nice gain there.
Second down and 2 coming up here. Graff and Banuelos again in the backfield. And Graff will keep it. Goes up the middle, and he'll be brought down at around the 3-yard line or so. Josh Trafney and Jacob Moore from the backside able to get there. And it'll bring up a third down and about a yard. They can get a first down inside the 2 here. And I would imagine, really, if you're Dixie, you're in 2-down territory regardless of what happens here.
Oh, I would definitely think so. You want to be able to put up 7 points here on this drive. You were gifted such great field position, and you only got this extra yard here to get this first down. Absolutely. We'll see what they've got dialed up here.
Graff and Banuelos again in the backfield. Graff back to throw with some time. Back in the end zone, but threw it out of the end zone. Trying to get it out there to Travis Murr, number 14. And that's a play call, Andrew, that you go with knowing we're going for it on 4th down.
Absolutely. You don't throw the fade route there on 3rd down if you don't think that you're going to potentially sneak it, or just give it to Banuelos and see if he can't pound it down for an extra yard to be able to keep this drive going or potentially give you 7 points.
It's going to be 4th down. And from our angle, it really looks like it's 4th and pretty close to a full yard. Banuelos and Graff in the backfield here. They need to get the 2 to move the chains. Graff throws this one out to Banuelos. Banuelos lowers his head, and it's going to be close to see. Spanish Fork is saying no. It's going to depend on the spot. And, the spot is going to be very, very close from the far side of the field. Looking out through the binoculars, we have a tough angle, so we're not 100% sure exactly where that straight line is. My guess is they're going to measure it, and they'll bring the chains across to measure. And if they don't get it, Andrew, it's going to be by just about an inch.
Yeah, this was actually, it was a great design here on 4th down, getting Banuelos out in space, but it's going to be nail-biting close.
He didn't get it, and he didn't get it by a pretty good distance. Looking at it when they brought it down, and then the pile for Dixie kind of moved, Andrew, it was a good 6 inches short.
A nice job there by the Dons. That is going to be huge for them. That could have been 7 points there for the Flyers. Instead, it is no points as they elected to not go with the field goal. And once again, the Dons have the ball here and still have the lead.
So the Spanish Fork Dons will start this drive with 12 seconds left in the quarter at their own 3-yard line. And we'll see here what Spanish Fork dials up. That's kind of a back-breaking blow there if you're the Dixie Flyers.
Obviously, in this situation for the Dons, it's about getting some space. With 3 yards in between you and your end zone, you're just looking for any kind of breathing room you can get. Expect some probably either a run here or a nice short pass to give yourself some room.
They'll run it right up the middle, and they'll get out to about the 10-yard line with Ben Boyack, and that will, I would imagine, end the quarter here at Dixie. We'll let the clock expire here, and it does. At the end of the first quarter, it's Spanish Fork 7, Dixie 0. It's the 2018 4A quarterfinals, and the Dons on top of Dixie at the end of one here in St. George.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
This is your home, your car, and you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance.
See your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson for your insurance and financial needs.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Well, the start of the second quarter here at Dixie High School, and it's a 7-0 lead for Spanish Fork on the Dixie Flyers here. The winner has an opportunity to play in next week's state semifinals. Their game would be on the 8th, which would be on a Thursday night at 6 p.m., a kickoff from Rice-Eccles Stadium. And here is Ben Boyack straight ahead on 2nd and 3. He'll have enough for a first down out to the 15-yard line. One thing we haven't really touched on is the importance tonight of winning the time of possession. You have to think, if Spanish Fork, Andrew, and correct me if I'm wrong, they can limit the possessions of Dixie, they're going to maybe swing that one a little bit more in the favor of Spanish Fork.
It'd be absolutely huge for the Dons.
Straight up the middle, and again, that's Ben Boyack, and Boyack will get a nice gain of about 5 there on first down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 5.
Boyack is looking really good on this drive and has looked good in this game. In fact, most of the Dons running backs, I thought, have run very powerfully, and I do like that they aren't necessarily relying on one guy to be their bell cow. They are switching them out and keeping them fresh.
Here you have Buse and Morley both in the backfield with Parker Swenson. And here's the give up the middle. They get it outside. Here's Kimball Morley in some space. Morley will get to the 29-yard line. Dixie there wanting a hold. And I don't see there's no penalty flag, and that's going to end up being a first down.
Wow, what a read there. Again, had a couple options there. Could have handed it off, but he sees it perfectly, sees the defense going that way, throws the quick bubble screen out there to his receiver and gets a nice gain. Nice first down.
Bring up a 1st and 10. They'll mark the ball at the 30-yard line. The direct snap, they're going to Kimball Morley out of the backfield, and Morley's going to lose a couple of yards as Staley, the linebacker, they're able to get there for Dixie.
A little bit of a razzle-dazzle play there for the Dons going with the direct snap there. I was even a little confused, but yeah, the Flyers were able to read that perfectly and able to get a nice tackle for loss.
2nd down and 11 as Swenson will give it up the middle to Buse. And Buse there, a nice gain of about 5 or so. And you have to think, if Spanish Fork, they've been a team that's relied at times so much upon the big plays in the passing game. If they can wear Dixie down, that's going to open up some of those downfield passing plays.
Oh, it's huge. Being able to get these big chunk plays at the beginning of the game in the run game, that is going to pay big dividends for the Dons later.
Swenson back to throw with some time, looking over towards the sideline, now being pressured. He'll complete the pass to Congdon right along the sideline. And the question's going to be, is Congdon, was he in? There's a penalty flag down, and I think they're going to say he went out and then didn't reestablish that he was in bounds. Remember, if a receiver doesn't get forced out of bounds, if they just run a route out of bounds, they're an ineligible receiver to catch the pass. And we'll see here what they're going to do. And I think they're going to, by the early looks of it, I think they're going to, one official just picked the flag up. And now 2 officials are going to have a conversation. And you'll see a few more conversations about these kind of plays, Andrew, when you get to the state playoffs. And each call really can affect a ball game.
It's important to get it right, and that's why I like these conferences between the refs. Like, this is high-stakes football here. They want to make sure to get the call right.
And so illegal touching against Spanish Fork. So they're saying that Congdon went out of bounds and then came back in. I believe they have the official here mic'd up here at Dixie High School. So we'll try to see if the best we can get that audio over the airwaves to you as clearly as we can here. But nonetheless, illegal touching. That's going to bring up third down and long coming up here for Spanish Fork.
Yeah, this should be fourth down with that being a loss of down.
Conversations now continuing to take place right here. 7-0 lead for Spanish Fork, 9:57, and they're going to back the Dons back up even further now. The Dons are going to go back to the line of scrimmage. Will be their own 21-yard line. And that will bring up third down and long. So there must have been, I don't remember I thought it was just a loss of down play. But it's going to be third and 20 for Spanish Fork. Back from their own 20-yard line. The Dons have to throw for it here. Swenson with some time. Looking over the middle for Iera into double coverage, and it goes incomplete. And that will bring up fourth down.
Yeah, not exactly the best read there by Swenson, as Iera was in double coverage there. You also had Noah Conway, who was a little bit deeper, and that could have potentially been an option as well. But on the third down and 20, you're probably not going to convert it. You kind of want to potentially just get the yards that you can. So it, might actually be one of the better case scenarios that that ball ended up being incomplete as they now punt it away.
It's going to be Schweitzer and Mahi back deep again, and they get the kick away. Schweitzer comes up to the 49 and then is dropped in the special teams game there. Ben Boyack gets there initially and just makes a tough hit. And sorry, that's not Ben Boyack. That was, I believe, Jonas Smith there who got there. No, I'm going to correct myself. That's Ben Boyack who made that tackle again in special teams. And now that's going to bring up a first down for Dixie. And they'll start with it in Spanish Fork territory, but really the idea, there's a penalty flag, at the far side of the field, I think is going to back the Flyers up. And they're going to back it up, I believe, 10 yards, back to the 38-yard line. And so not the way you want to start a drive if you're the Dixie Flyers. 9:41 to go before halftime. Spanish Fork 7. Dixie 0. Winner to play either Park City or Skyview next Thursday night in the state semifinal. First down and 10, ball on the 38-yard line for Dixie.
They've really got to get Graff going here. Whether it's his arm or his legs, they've got to get him going.
Graff back to throw, drops this one off to Banuelos, and Jacob Moore in open field. Just a nice open field tackle right there, and Banuelos not able to get very much.
That was an absolutely great play there. That was going to be several more yards if he didn't make that tackle. Open field tackles are some of the hardest ones to make, especially if you're just a little guy, you're just that cornerback, trying to take down what is usually a kind of a big running back or wide receiver, whoever it be. So being able to make that kind of a tackle is massive for the Dons.
We'll give it McKell, Jansen, and Wise, attorneys at law. Great defensive play there to Jacob Moore. It's hard to tackle, especially at the high school level in the open field. They're only a gain of 2 yards for Banuelos, puts Dixie in a second down and 8. Here's Graff, this one out, and that one's going to be incomplete. Trying to get it out to Schweitzer on the bubble screen. Caleb Lundquist was right there. And I believe we may have another, I thought potentially we had another penalty flag, but we don't. And it's going to be third down and 8.
Yeah, once again, going with the bubble screen. Again, it's not a bad option for the Flyers. They do have great guys out on the boundary that are able to make some things happen after the catch, but unfortunately for them, a little bit beyond the grasp there. And so, third and long, we'll see what they got.
Third down and 8, ball on the 40-yard line here for the Dixie Flyers. They need the 48-yard line for a first down. Graff back to throw. Pressure comes from the backside by Trafney. They drop that one over to Mahi for a first down and more. A nice job by Nate Mahi there, running a nice route and just gets that one in that one-on-one coverage and beats his man.
Phenomenal, as you'll see here on the instant replay. Nice rollout here by Graf, who just sends it up there, and Mahi with some absolute just hops there, gets way up and gets that in. A great route. Nice job to kind of run with the quarterback on a nice scramble drill, and that is a big play for the Flyers.
Dixie now into Spanish Fork territory at the Don's 41-yard line. Graf will be by himself right here. Graf ready to go. They send Mahi in motion. They'll give it to Mahi on the reverse, and Mahi somehow sneaks past a couple of tacklers and then runs into 3 or 4 more, and this time can't get past them. Mahi gets maybe a half a yard there on first down.
The Flyers are fortunate there. That really could have been a big tackle for loss, but Mahi was able to make a couple moves to make some guys miss and able to make it at least basically positive. It's, half a yard, but you'll take a half a yard over a loss of 4 or 5.
We'll bring up 2nd down and 9, ball on the 40-yard line here, right there for the Dixie Flyers. Flyers with 2 timeouts the rest of the way here in the first half. Banuelos in motion there to the left of Graf now, as Graf in the shotgun formation. Schweitzer goes in motion. Graf will roll out now, away from it, and now he'll just tuck it, try to throw it the last second. He'll just kind of pump fake it. Gets a couple of yards inside the 35-yard line. A nice pickup there of about 6 or 7 to make it a 3rd down and about 2 coming up.
A nice job there by Graf. That's a play where you definitely see his poise and his presence, being able to get the yards that he could, using the pump fake to kind of keep the defense away from him for just a little bit so he can get those couple extra yards.
3rd down and 2 from the 33-yard line. Graf will now look over to the sideline, make sure he's got the right play call as they get set, ready to go. 4 wide receivers right here. And now I think Dixie's going to want to take a timeout. Flyers will take their 2nd timeout here of the half with 7:12 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsors here on Spanish 417.
Our wonderful sponsors, we appreciate them so much. They've done so much to help us with our broadcast. That includes Blue Diamond Auto Group, Triple T, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, MVP Sports, Prime Mortgage Lending, McKill Christiansen Wise Attorneys at Law, Two Jacks Pizza, and Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance.
So right now, we also want to remind you can watch on YouTube, youtube.com/SpanishFork17, sfcn.org, as well by hitting the Watch Now button on the top of your page. As you can not just watch us, but you can watch other programming as well, and that we have here on Spanish Fork 17. And we'll get set here for a 3rd down and 2 play coming up here if you're Dixie. And boy, I don't know if I just don't go straight up quarterback draw right now with Graf.
I mean, Graf is such a weapon. You got to maybe do a read option potentially here, just to see maybe if you got a better lane with your running back as opposed to your quarterback. But you've got some options here. For that matter, you could throw another bubble screen as well.
3rd and 2, they'll give it. Graf will keep it. He'll have a 1st down inside the 30 to about the Flyer 24-yard line. It's a 1st down for Dixie, and the Flyers right now are finding a way to pick up just enough for a 1st down.
Executing the read option to perfection. A nice job by Graf to use his eyes to keep the defense going towards the running back, and then just finds a nice open lane there to get them a 1st down.
So the ball will be on the 24-yard line for Dixie. The Flyers have been inside the Prime Mortgage Lending red zone once tonight. Not quite there here, but they were stopped on a 4th down from the 2-yard line. Here's a straight quarterback draw for Graf. He's down inside the 15, finally brought down at about the 12-yard line, and now we're starting to see that potent Dixie offense finding a ways right there, and that was just a straight quarterback draw.
Absolutely. As you see here on our instant replay, Graf, again, kind of looks off just to keep the defense honest, and then just bulldozes right through the hole. A nice read there by Graf, and he really is going now on this particular drive. You're seeing him use his legs, and this is exactly what Dixie needed to get themselves back in this ball game.
Now they're in the Prime Mortgage Lending red zone right here, and a 1st down and 10 from the 12. Graf back to throw, sets up the screen out to Banuelos, who's looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Dixie! As Banuelos from Graf from 12 yards out, the Flyers are an extra point away from tying this one here in the 2nd quarter.
Again, as you'll see here on the replay, a nice setup of this screen. Banuelos then just rumbles on in for the touchdown here. The equalizer, as they say in soccer. So nicely designed play there on the screen to Banuelos, and now they've got an opportunity to tie this ball game up.
Coming in here for the extra point, number 49, Joshua Stewart, the junior kicker. Left-footed kicker ready to go. Snap good, hold good, kick, a line drive kick, but looks good. And Dixie, with 6:09 to go in the first half, has tied this one up at 7. And we talked about the Dixie Flyers offense. We talked about one of our key to the game, Andrew, was finding a way to contain Reggie Graff. And there, Reggie Graff shows just exactly why he's gotten as much attention as he's got.
Absolutely. Graff is a great athlete at the quarterback position for the Flyers, and you saw it there. And he also is a smart player. That's something that really pops up to me in his stats. You got 18 passing touchdowns, 12 rushing touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions. Like, this guy knows what he's doing. He has a very good idea of what he wants to do with the ball, and he does a good job of making his reads. Again, you saw a couple of nice read option plays on that drive where sometimes he handed it off to the running back, sometimes he just kept it himself, and then they do a good job of designing just good QB draws for him as well, just going ahead and letting him make plays out in space.
Dixie kicks this one off, and back deep is Iera, who will bring it from about the 1-yard line. Last time he was dropped inside the 10. Iera makes the man miss. He's brought down the 31. Boy, he was one tackler away from taking that one down the sideline for a much bigger return. Nonetheless, if you're Spanish Fork, Andrew, this is the best starting field position you've had in a long time, maybe even of the night.
Yeah, you're just like, yes, please. Finally not backed up into my own end zone. So great field position, nice return there by Iera. And now we'll see what Parker Swenson, the offense, can do to be able to answer the Flyers' touchdown.
Parker Swenson ready to go here with Kimball Morley in the backfield. And here's the give up the middle. Nope, they're going to get it outside. Here's Noah Conway. First time we've seen Conway get a touch tonight. And Conway picks up a couple of yards there as, again, Parker Swenson able to sell that RPO right there.
We were fooled. We thought it was a run, and he does a good job of pulling it out, swinging it over to Conway, and I think that's huge. It's huge to be able for Swenson to be able to get the ball to Conway, reestablish that connection, because they're going to need Conway to be as good as he can be in this game.
Swenson gives it right up the middle. Here's Kimball Morley, and Morley gets across the 40 to about the 40.5-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and a couple if you're Spanish Fork, but one thing we haven't seen in a long time is Kimball Morley really able to get a lot of space and break a big run. You'd really like to see the senior step up tonight and make a play.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good runs in this game, just good chunk yardage.
Ben Boyack up the middle, and he's not going to get it. Right into the heart of the Dixie defense, led by Connor Walden on that defensive line. Pushes back Ben Boyack.
A nice job there by the Flyers to hold him up there. That is a big, big stop for the Flyers.
And it will be 4th down and 1. Spanish Fork's offense staying on the field right here. And I don't know if I don't just try to punt here in front of Spanish Fork and pin Dixie back deep. Dons look like they're going to go for it here. 4th and about a half yard. Here's the give up the middle to Boyack, who has a first down and more to the Dixie 39-yard line before he's brought down. One guy away from breaking that one for 6. And it's a first down, Spanish Fork. And I will let Jake Brandon and J.R. Brandon, I will let them be the offensive coordinators and let Preston Parrish make those kind of calls.
Oh, my gosh. An absolutely gutsy calling on 4th down and a great run by Boyack, rumbling through and not just getting the 4th down, but getting all sorts of extra yardage.
Here's Kimball Morley straight up ahead, makes a man miss. He'll get about 5 or so there on first down for Spanish Fork. A nice pickup up the middle with 4 minutes to play in the first half.
Yeah, so far the Dons have done a good job of controlling the ball. Like they've definitely got the time of possession all squared up in this game, which we didn't think they would because of this Dixie running game.
Here's a little kind of slant route there, and that's complete to Noah Conway. A nice job there, and that's a play they like to run with Conway on that slant.
And they're going to need it. Conway looking a lot better on this drive and getting that connection with Swenson here on this particular drive. It's been great for the Dons. They're getting just good yardage on these plays.
First down and 10. Ball on the 25-yard line of Dixie. And here is the give straight up the middle. Kimball Morley is going to be brought down. Getting there was the defensive line. I believe it might have been Staley from, sorry, that was Kesterson and Falmania, number 52, getting there for Dixie.
A nice read for the Flyers. Again, that one was a little bit telegraphed there by Swenson, but still a good job to run to the ball carrier.
Second and 10, pressure comes, they get it out. Here's Iera on the catch, and Iera inside the 20 before he's brought down by Tyson Miller, the safety, and that will bring up third down and just a couple, 3 or 4, well, I'm going to say 5 for Spanish Fork.
Still a nice play there by Iera, being able to swing it outside, and again, he does get a little bit of a move to be able to get himself an extra yard or two.
Third down and 5. Boyack joins Kimball Morley in the backfield. And Swenson will go back to throw. Pressure comes. They have to just get it out, and they do. Morley cuts it back to the opposite side. Has the first down and more inside the 10, and is going to have enough for a first down. A heads-up play there from Kimball Morley with the Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance assist to bring that one in. And that cutback move there, Andrew, really opened that one up.
There it is. There's Morley getting out in space like you were talking about. The senior running back is definitely shifty, and you saw it there on that play. That is the kind of playmaking that the Dons need from him in this game.
And we have a timeout here on the field, it looks like, with 2:31 to go here as we have an injury down on the field. I believe that is Kimball Morley on the far side. It's on the near side of your TV screen, just down by about the 10-yard line. And that is Kimball Morley, and that would be a big blow for the Spanish Fork team. It doesn't look like, you can't see it in your picture, it's just there it is. It doesn't look like it's a cramp. It is a little warmer than what they've been used to up in Utah County, so you might maybe see a little bit of cramping today or something a little bit unusual. Now Morley coming off the field here under his own power. But this is the one thing, if you're Spanish Fork, Andrew, the next 2:31 could be very big to try to build momentum. Dixie gets the football to start the third quarter. You got to have some momentum heading into the halftime locker room.
You definitely do. The Dons need some points here on this drive to be able to get themselves a bit of a lead, and hopefully, if they can, maybe even take a little bit of extra time off the clock so that Dixie doesn't have time to make a drive here at the end of the half as well.
First down and 10, ball on the 13-yard line here. The Dons back in the Prime Mortgage Lending red zone. And here's a give to Zach Buse. Swenson keeps it, rolls out, looks for Lofton in the end zone. Has his man, he dives. Did he make the catch? He did. Touchdown, Spanish Fork. The only thing that we were wondering was whether Lofton was going to be able to haul that one in, but boy, Trey Lofton extends and comes up with it for the Spanish Fork touchdown.
Golly, what a play. Great catch by Lofton, but also, man, that throw by Swenson, that is not an easy throw, guys. He is rolling out, and that is one of those ones kind of back of the foot, but just the perfect amount of touch on that one to get it to Lofton. And, are they going for two?
Dons line up like they're going for two. They like the matchup. They'll throw for it. Iera is going to be hit, breaks a tackle, still makes the man miss, and then it's brought down. There's a penalty flag, however, on the far side of the field. And if this is against Dixie, that might have been why they went for two, if there was something against Dixie. But if that's against Spanish Fork, we'll see what happens here. Penalty is going to be declined here, and so their try will be no good, and Spanish Fork will get 6 there. However, the Dons have a 13-7 lead on the Dixie Flyers with 2 minutes and 23 seconds to go. Right there, we've seen college teams do it. We saw the University of Oregon do that quite a bit. Look, see if they have a favorable matchup and go. And if you're Parker Swenson and the Dons right there, you must have thought you had a favorable matchup.
They must have, and it's something that I didn't see, at least as I was looking at the play. But again, I'm not the one that makes the calls here. But kind of an interesting choice. I could see the merit behind it, getting yourself up by 8 and kind of forcing Dixie to maybe do a 2-point conversion of their own eventually. But a bit of a gamble, maybe the one gamble so far that the Dons have made that hasn't quite worked out for them.
Riker Barton will get ready to kick it away here for Spanish Fork. Tyler Walden, the 5'11 junior, back deep to receive the kick right here. 2:23 to go before halftime. Dixie with 1 timeout left, and Barton kicks this one deep. Walden will take it from about the 1. Out across the 15 to the 20, makes a couple and then miss. Look out. Walden's finally brought down across the 40 to the 43, and Dixie with great starting field position. And here comes the penalty flag right here as we see Dallas Iera kind of late on that play, kind of taking some time before getting up, and the Dixie faithful will let Iera hear it here. We'll see what the penalty's going to be against, but you have to think probably a personal foul or an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, which will probably add 15 on to the return here for Dixie.
Yeah, that hurts for the Dons. Like, to see a big return like that and then to tack on more yards to it as well. That's definitely not what the Dons needed here after that score.
And so it's going to be personal foul here against Spanish Fork, and that will tack 15 on to the end of the return. Zach Buse over talking to the officials, and the hard part is we see it from up here. We don't see what's being said between players and some of the other stuff. And Preston Parrish talking to the officials there, and you see him on your far side of your screen there at the top. They getting an explanation and maybe voicing some concerns for his players, and that's one thing you like to see as a player, is you like to think your coach has your back.
Yeah, it is a nice thing, just being like, okay, coach has got me, he understands me, he's going to fight for me. That's huge for a player.
First down and 10. Ball on the Spanish Fork 42 after the penalty, and they throw that one back shoulder, throws complete. That one is out to number 15, Joshua Kazir, and Kazir's got a first down.
Yeah, Kazir's a big playmaker for the Flyers, and so not shocked that he gets the reception there. You're probably going to see him quite a bit more in this game, and that's a nice play to start off this drive for the Flyers.
The tough part is that penalty adds 15 yards and puts Dixie in such a nice position with only having that 1 timeout right now. And we 4 wide receivers here for the Flyers, puts them in an ideal position to not just tie the game, but potentially take a lead in the locker room. Back to throw with some time, taking a shot for it all. Penalty flag's out there. That pass is going to be tipped, incomplete. Coming over the top was Trey Lofton to knock that one away. And the penalty flag, however, back at the line of scrimmage, you have to think this might be a hold.
Yeah, as you're seeing there on instant replay, they definitely could potentially be a hold there, as you saw there on the edge. A nice play, though, by Lofton, by the way, to be able to get up there and break up that play. Almost potentially could have knocked it towards himself, or another defender got the pick on that.
So we'll see here. We're going to get a personal foul against Spanish Fork for a face mask. And it's going to be a first down for Dixie. So here they'll give them 15 yards here, and now the Flyers are going to be in the Prime Mortgage Lending red zone and right on the door here of knocking in a potential touchdown to potentially at least tie it up right here. And this is kind of, if you're Spanish Fork, this might be gut check time early on to say somebody has to make a play right now on that defense.
They do. Two big penalties have absolutely killed them on this drive, but that doesn't mean that they can't get the stop here in the red zone, which they've already got one so far in this game.
Graff and Banuelos in the backfield for Dixie. Here's Graff, back to throw with some time, steps up, wide open in the flat, and complete out to Travis Muir. And Muir there going to get inside the 15-yard line. A nice just taking just what the defense is going to give you.
Oh, absolutely. If everyone's going to be lining up on that other side, then you got just one guy and a whole bunch of grass in front of him. A nice read there by Graff.
6-yard pickup there, brings up a 2nd and 4. Ball now on the 10-yard line. And Travis Muir, they're able to find a way, too, to get out of bounds. Really helped there for the Flyers. 2nd down and 4. Man goes in motion. Here's the quarterback, Graff, on the keeper, trying to get outside. Now cuts it back up in the middle, and Graff will get about 3 or 4 more there. He'll be pretty close to a first down for Dixie, but it's going to bring up 3rd and about a yard.
Yeah, nice job here by Graff. Kind of sold it and then is able to use the block in there. Maki gets beaten up, but he did his job of getting out in front and being able to kind of release his quarterback for a couple yards.
Third down and 1. Graf gives it to Banuelos, who gets in. Touchdown Flyers. As it's Weston Banuelos in for the touchdown.
Again, as you'll see here on this instant replay, a little bit of a low snap, but does a good job of selling it. Oh man, absolutely great job of selling the play, the play there. Hands it off to Banuelos, who rumbles on in, and now they've got an opportunity to take the lead here.
Joshua Stewart on for the extra point here, and this extra point potentially gives Dixie a 1-point lead. Ready to go. Snap good. Hold is down. The kick is through the uprights. And Dixie, for the first time tonight, they have a 14-13 lead with 1:16 to play here in the first half. Spanish Fork will get the football. They have all 3 of their timeouts. Playbook's wide open. And this is really when you need Parker Swenson to become a field general and just lead the troops down the field.
Absolutely. You're going to need to use the sidelines. You're going to need to use your timeouts. Like, you're going to have to look for good-looking opportunities on this drive. Again, they do have enough time here with 1:16 to get themselves in the scoring position, though. That failed 2-point conversion is starting to loom a little bit large, as this game would be tied if they hadn't gone for it and failed. And so that's certainly something to think about as they potentially go into the locker room here at halftime. But they still have 1:16 here to potentially redeem themselves here a bit.
Miles Keenan will be back deep. Will kick this one away. Ayera is about 5 yards deep in the end zone when he makes that catch. And the Dons will come out to the 20-yard line where they'll get ready to start their drive here. 1:16 on the clock here in the first half. Coming up, we'll have the halftime show here, the performances from here at Dixie. We'll have drill, I think it's drill and cheer at halftime here at Dixie, and we'll also recap our Triple T heating, cooling, and plumbing keys to the game. We'll also check some scores from some of the 4A quarterfinals and other games throughout the state, as Parker Swenson back around his own 2-yard line, looking over the middle, and that one's intercepted at the 30-yard line. Bringing it back, that is Walden, and he will have it inside the 30 at the 26.
Walden with an absolutely huge interception. That's one of those throws that Parker Swenson has gotten in trouble with here in the last little bit here, that back foot across the field type throw. He's just trying to make something happen for his team, but unfortunately for him, the defense is able to read that one perfectly. A nice pick there by Walden, who is one of the better playmakers on this defense. And now this gives Dixie an opportunity to not only extend the lead, but to really just grab hold of all of the momentum in this game.
Flyers get the football to open up the third quarter as well. Dixie has a chance here potentially to score twice before the Dons even get to touch the football next. Back to throw. Graf with some time. Being pressured from the backside, and Graf runs it out of bounds. A heads-up play there from Graf. The interesting thing with Parker Swenson, Andrew, is he's outside the pocket. All he has to do is throw it away.
Absolutely. That is one of those plays where you think the senior quarterback would be like, okay, we'll throw it away, give it up, live to live another down, type thing. But again, it's hard when it's this close. You're like so close to halftime. You're trying to make a big play for your team, and so you think, oh, I can make this throw. I've made this throw before, and you just go ahead and go for it. Unfortunately for Swenson, that's not how it played out.
2nd down and 8, ball on the 23-yard line here for Reggie Graf and the Flyers. Here's Banuelos trying to get outside, has favorable numbers, makes one man miss, wins the corner, and then's taken out of bounds. And that will bring up 3rd down, a couple of yards there from Banuelos.
But he ran like 30. You run like 30 yards to get a couple. It looks like we got a flag on the play potentially.
And we'll see. That came in from the far side of the field. Preston Parrish came in, and we'll see what it is. It's going to be a hold against Dixie. We saw a couple of the Dons coaches immediately kind of jump up there, so I was looking for the penalty flag, and that will move Dixie back here. And the tough part, if you're the Flyers here right now, Andrew, is the negative plays. You only have the one timeout. So you have to get out of bounds or you're going to have to burn that final timeout. Sometimes you may want to keep that timeout for the final 10, 15 seconds of the half.
Absolutely. If you ever want to potentially kick a field goal, it's nice to be able to have that timeout in your back pocket to be able to call it and then get that all set up.
Second down at 18. They'll move the ball back to the Spanish Fork 33-yard line. Reggie Graff ready to go. Banuelos to his right. And back to throw with some time. Takes a shot in a double coverage. Up over the top. Incomplete. Looking there for Travis Murr. And that one just overthrown. Brings up third down and 18.
Oh, it's the right read. And it was a pretty well-placed ball there by Graff. Just a bit high, just a bit long for Muir there. But, man, that's the right read. That is the poise of a quarterback that knows what he's doing and knows how to place the ball. He's looked great in these last couple drives. You're really seeing the full skill set of Graff here. You're seeing him throw some good balls. You're seeing him use his legs. Like this is the weapon that Spanish Fork was fearing when they came into this game.
Third down and 18, ball on the 33-yard line, and back to throw with some time is Graff. Looking up, takes a shot deep, has a man out there is Miller, who makes the catch, and he hold on, he did. Touchdown Dixie. Tyson Miller, number 4, beats the corner for 6, and Dixie has taken full control here in the second quarter.
And there's that throw. Again, you saw it on that last play. This is another one that is just such a well-thrown ball. Zach Beast does a good job of potentially getting in a place where he could have made a play on that ball, but just not able to get any kind of hand on it. A nice catch there, and the Flyers extend this lead.
The nice thing if you're Spanish Fork, it's still a one-possession game either way. It's just a little bit harder because now you have to get that 2-point conversion. Stewart on for the extra point. He's 2 for 2 in this one. And this one is up and looks good. It looks like he's 3 for 3, and he is. 31 seconds to play before halftime. Dixie up 21-13 here on Spanish Fork. And right now, this is one of those gut check moments if you're Spanish Fork.
It is. You've got to be able to respond in a good way here. Whether it's figuring out a way to get a good kick return here, whether it's as Swenson, it's taking care of the ball. It's with only 30 seconds left. Just don't do anything crazy that could potentially lead to Dixie scoring some more points here. You just need to try and see what you can get here on the kick return, and then kind of assess from there. If you don't get a great kick return, you know what? Swallow your pride, take the knee, and get yourself into the half and be able to kind of collect yourself in the locker room and get ready for that first Dixie possession to start off the half.
21-13 for the Flyers. Dixie has scored 14 unanswered points here. And I think all 21 of the Flyers' points coming here in the second quarter. And this one into the end zone. Iera will not have an option to bring it out of the end zone, and it will come out to the 20-yard line here for Spanish Fork. And now we'll see here what the Dons elect to do. Parker Swenson throwing the interception that set up the last touchdown from Dixie. And so we'll see here what the Dons elect to do here with 31 seconds left.
Yeah, again, the smart play here would be to just go ahead and kneel the ball. But, again, you maybe see if there's something in the covers that maybe you could exploit. But, again, the smart thing is, just go ahead and collect yourselves, take a breath, and get yourself ready for the second half.
And that looks to be what Spanish Fork will do. They'll take a knee, hand the ball to the official. But it looks like the clock just went down to 30. I don't know if Dixie, and there it is. Now they'll run the clock. And I think Spanish Fork might have to snap the ball one more time.
Again, there's a lot of positives to take from this first half for the Dons. Again, that opening drive was sensational, and they've done a good job with their running game. Like, again, they've kind of mixed and matched there with a couple backs, but they've done a good job of being able to use that ground game to eat up some time, eat up some clock, and be able to keep themselves in this game.
Well, and that will do it. We'll head to halftime with Dixie leading Spanish Fork 21-13 here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. When we come back, we'll have the halftime show here from Dixie High School. Flyers on top of the Dons on Spanish Fork 17.
Hi, welcome to Two Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
This is your home, your car, and you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance.
See your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson for your insurance and financial needs.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, my name is Greg Driggs. I'm the local manager for Prime Mortgage Lending, where our motto is find a path to yes. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Christiansen, and Wise.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Flyer Field, your 2018-19 Dixie cheerleader.
Well, I think that concludes our halftime show here from Dixie. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll recap the first half. We'll take a look at our Triple T heating, cooling, and plumbing keys to the game and recap those and get you ready for the second half. You're watching high school football here on Spanish 417.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, my name is Greg Driggs. I'm the local manager for Prime Mortgage Lending, where our motto is find a path to yes. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Christiansen, and Wise.
We welcome everybody back here to Dixie High School. It's a 21-13 lead for the Dixie Flyers over the Spanish Fork Dons. Ryan Pickens alongside Andrew LaRose as we go back to take a look at that first half. And Andrew, it was interesting to see how quickly we had kind of the teeter-totter effect. Spanish Fork had everything going their way, and then Dixie just found a way to come back and say, not so fast.
Absolutely. All the momentum seemed to be going the Dons' way just from the opening kickoff. That opening drive was really good. You saw a mix of Parker Swenson making smart plays along with that mixture of running backs that they've had, which they've done a really good job of taking time off the clock, of being able to keep the ball, kind of winning the time of possession battle. But then you get those turnovers, and all of a sudden Dixie's right back in this thing, and then another turnover, and then all of a sudden Dixie's now in the lead. And so you just see these big momentum swings, and a lot of it having to do with turnovers.
One thing we've talked about is the starting field position has been such a big difference. Spanish Fork has started most of their possessions, at least through the first 5 or 6. Andrew, they've started inside their own 20. Dixie starting around midfield, if not on the Spanish Fork side of the field. Yeah, the position has been absolutely in favor of Dixie. Their puncher's been a great weapon for them. Again, we talked about him being able to pin that one at the 1 yard line at the beginning of in warm-ups, and then he go ahead and gets him pinned in the 6, and then you just had a couple of those drives where Spanish Fork was just backed up in their own end zone. There's just not much that you can do in that situation, and so that was a big swing in terms of things for Dixie, really helping the Flyers to establish that good field position and then being able to be in advantageous places where they could score. You know, and it's kind of the tough part if you're Spanish Fork is you played such a great first half, really. You had a lead, and really you take the first about 14 minutes of this game, and it kind of looked like Spanish Fork, they were definitely the aggressor. They were the team that was playing a more solid foundation. Dixie got off to, let's be honest, a slow start, and it was really an opportunity for Spanish Fork to take advantage of that, and the Dons, outside of that opening possession, had a tough time finding ways to move the football.
It really was. As I mentioned a couple times in that first half, there was just not a great connection between Swenson and some of his receivers, particularly Noah Conway. They were just reads where you're like, oh man, they just weren't quite on the same page on that play. You get a couple of those types of plays where they were on the same page. You move the sticks, you get some drives going, and so look for Parker Swenson to be able to reestablish his connection with his receivers, whether that be Conway, whether that be Iera, just guys that will be able to make plays for the Dons here to help them get back in this one in the second half.
And it's definitely something that's going to have to happen if you're Spanish Fork. Some way, somewhere, especially, I kind of feel defensively, somebody in that defense is going to have to make a big-time play in order to really keep this one in a point where it doesn't get out of hand, because the tough part is you got to go on defense first with a defense that was out there a lot in that second quarter. And what kind of adjustments do you make? Because really, Dixie is just kind of throwing at you their bread and butter right now and saying, hey, this is who we are, this is what we're going to do. Screen passes, give an option run. they're not doing anything very, out of the box. It's really just been, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah, they're keeping it simple, and it's really working for the Flyers. It's just use those read options to be able to release Graf on the ground, but also RPOs and being able to use the danger of his legs to be able to create some bubble screens or be able to take some shots. And he really looked confident on that last drive. Graf threw a couple of balls, and I'm like, wow, those are just well thrown. He looks poised. He looks ready to go, and the Dons just have to answer. They've got to figure out a way to be able to kind of counterbalance this high-flying Flyer offense.
It'll be interesting to see Spanish Fork getting ready. They have taken the field here for the second half, just waiting for the Dixie Flyers, and then we'll put 3 minutes on the clock and get ready to go. Let's take a look at our Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing keys to the game and kind of do a halftime report card on it. You talk about when the turnover battle kind of looked like that one was staying pretty neutral, but then that interception right before the half that gives Dixie a short field. It's hard to beat a team when you're giving them a short field.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that the Dons needed to avoid from the get-go, and it's why it was a key to the game. Is if you can limit the turnovers, you're going to put yourself in a better position, because these Flyers do not turn the ball over at all. So you've got to be smart with the ball. You've got to make sure to make the right reads and to not get crazy with it, to make sure to stay within yourself. And if there's plays where it's going to be crazy and you're needing to throw across your body, just get rid of it. Go ahead and throw it out of bounds and let yourself kind of reset and go for another play.
Dual threat quarterback Reggie Graf was pretty quiet in that first quarter, but boy, he seemed like he woke up in that second quarter and shown exactly why he's a dual threat.
Boy, he looked so good in the second quarter. Every drive in the second quarter, you just saw the weapon that Graf really is, being able to use his legs to extend plays, being able to make those key throws to be able to extend drives, and you're just seeing the full skill set in this game from Reggie Graf. You're seeing what he can do with his legs. You can see what he's doing with his arm. It's just been a good, complete performance. And again, he's made smart plays. He hasn't extended beyond himself. He's done a very good job of knowing exactly who he is as a player and then making the read that is most appropriate for that play.
As we see Dixie get ready to come back onto the field here at Dixie High School right here. Really, when you take a look at it right now, Andrew, what has to change in the second half? If you're Spanish Fork, what are kind of your third and fourth quarter keys to try to flip this one in a positive direction?
My big thing here for the Dons is they've got to get their passing game going. The run game has looked great, and they've done a good job of mixing and matching it, but in this case, you've got to rely on the right arm of Parker Swenson at this point. That is your guy. He's your senior leader, and he's been leading the Dons all season long. Get him in a good rhythm, whether that's starting with a bunch of short passes to Conway, to Iera, to your playmakers, using your running backs out of the backfield, just looking for plays that will give you good yardage, keep yourself ahead of the sticks, and then at that point you can then be looking at making big chunk plays. You can start taking shots down the field. So I think that's the key for the offense, is to just get the passing game going, get Parker Swenson in a good rhythm, and get himself completing passes so they can be extending drives.
Dixie's been playing pretty soft, especially in the secondary. They've had times when receivers have been open. They just haven't hit that connection yet here, and that will be something very interesting to take a look at in the second half. Just checking a couple of scores throughout the state. Most of the other 4A quarterfinals starting later on this evening here. A couple of them just getting ready to get underway here in just a little bit, including the Skyview game, the one Park City at Skyview, that one coming up tonight. The winner of that one plays the winner of this one next week in there. But let's go through. Pineview leads at Stansbury 28-7 at the half. So Stansbury, the number one seed out of their region right now, could set up an Orem Pineview or Mountain Crest Pineview semifinal next week. Mountain Crest in the first quarter leading at Orem 7-6. That's a rematch of last year's state championship game that Orem won. In the 5A ranks, Jordan leads Skyridge 27-20. That one just before halftime. Roy up on Timpview 14-0 at the half. Corner Canyon up on Viewmont 35-0 at the half. Springville up 3-0 at Olympus in a state quarterfinal there. At the 6A level, Weber leads American Fork 24-17. Lone Peak leads Davis 31-0. Pleasant Grove leads Fremont 24-7. And Bingham and Kearns, that one getting ready to get underway at about 5:30. It's a little weird to see Bingham not have a home game in the second round of the playoffs. They're going to Kearns to play the Cougars.
That is so weird. Bingham's been such a dominant program for the past couple of years. To not see them having home field advantage this early in the playoffs, it is weird. It's just something that you've just kind of come to expect from that program.
So it'll be very interesting to see what happens there when it comes to that. The 1A, 2A, and 3A state semifinals tomorrow, all in Utah County. The 1A semifinals will be played at Payson High School, the 2A semifinals at Timpview, and then, probably playing the other two. Why not play the 3A over at Provo High School? How about the Bulldogs winning their first round playoff game? They're in the second round of the 5A level, and we're underway with Riker Barton with the squib kick to start the third quarter. Mahi on the return, and Mahi's going to get across the 30-yard line, still on his feet, and he's brought down the 36-yard line, and that's the way we start the third quarter.
Yeah, not the way that the Dons wanted to see it. Again, obviously, going with the squib kick to try to mitigate Mahi's return ability, and yet he still flashes it right there. The acceleration that he has, the ability to be able to change speeds, and just he's so shifty. He does a good job of also reading what's out there, what's available to him. And so definitely a nice return there for Mahi, and it puts Dixie once again in very favorable field position.
They'll start this possession from their own 36-yard lines with Reggie Graff, the quarterback, right here, ready to go. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line for Graff and the Flyers. Low snap. They get it off, though, and right up the middle goes the running back, Bonuelos, and that's enough for about a 5-yard pickup.
Once again, it's that deception that Graff has with that play. It looks like he's throwing it. He goes up with the left, and then he hands it off with his right hand. He did it in the first half as well, as you saw on that one instant replay that we showed you on that play. Man, he's very deceptive. He does a good job of leading the defense with his eyes and with his moves, and then all of a sudden the ball's going in a different direction.
2nd down and 2 after a gain of 8 by Bonuelos, and Graff ready to go again. Mahi goes in motion, and penalty flags fly, and I think this one will be against the Flyers to start here in the third quarter, our first penalty of the second half, and the Flyers will back up 5. And it will be an illegal procedure call, and so makes it 2nd down and 7 here for the Flyers.
Big break for the Dons after that big gain by Bonuelos on the first down play, being able to back them up 5 and put them in a second and longer situation. We'll see what Graff and the offense has dialed up here on 2nd and 7.
4 wide receivers here. They send that Schweitzer who goes in motion. And back to throw. Graff pump fakes, throws over the middle, has Schweitzer for a first down and more. Across the 50 into Don's territory to about the 47. It's a first down for Dixie, and the Flyers into Spanish Fork field position.
It's a nice play there by Schweitzer. You see the speed that the Flyers have. They absolutely fly. They live up to their mascot. They have speed for days with Mahi and with Schweitzer. These guys know how to get yards after the catch, and I mean, they're also led by a guy in Graff that also has got some wheels.
We'll see Reggie Graff here from shotgun. Here back to throw, all by himself, hit as he throws, but completes the pass downfield, and that is Kazir, and that's good enough for a first down. The first time tonight that we might have seen some heavy pressure there coming on Reggie Graff.
Yeah, Graff does a great job, like getting hit by number 41, like able to stay in there, and then obviously a phenomenal catch there by Kazir.
I'm going to say it's incomplete. They're going to move it back to the 47.
Well, he tried. It looked pretty good. That was good technique to try to keep himself in bounds.
I thought they had initially called it a catch, but apparently they did not. Graff throws that one. It's bobbled by Schweitzer straight up in the air and goes incomplete, brings up 3rd and down.
There we go. There's the pass rush of the Dons. Now 2 hurries there on this particular drive. Definitely doing a better job of getting into the backfield and causing Graff to make some quicker decisions.
Graff only's thrown 2 interceptions, and I believe they both came One of them came in the Snow Canyon game. I think one came against Pineview, potentially, if I remember correctly. Still, you go 18 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he's got 19 now after the touchdown pass earlier in the first half. So here's a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Graff, pressure comes again. He has to get away from it. And now Graff will just have to try to run for it. Graff will find a way to get the first down.
Well, that's exactly what you thought the Dons wanted there. They once again bring pressure and are able to force Graff into making a decision, getting out of the pocket, but then they're just a bit of a defensive breakdown. It felt like there were guys that could have made a play on Graff there. Instead, they kind of just hung back in what seemed like soft coverage instead of coming up to challenge the quarterback, and a quarterback you know that can burn you and has burned you with his legs.
First down and 10, ball on the 34-yard line here with 9:53 to go here in the third quarter. Penalty flags and whistles blow here. And I would imagine this is going to be against Dixie, but we'll see. It will be an illegal procedure call against the Flyers. So they'll back the Flyers up 5 yards here, put them in a first down and 15. It's a 21-13 game, so one thing to remember if you're a Spanish Fork fan in this one is it's still a one-possession game.
Oh yeah, this is definitely still a ball game, and with the pressure that they're applying in this drive, this could be a formula that could work for the Dons to help them get back in this game and potentially stop this Flyers offense.
Low snap, and Graff throws that one. It's intercepted, and coming up with it was, I believe, Ben Boyack in the middle, number 36. The third interception thrown by Graff, and the momentum shifting back here now to Spanish Fork. You see a couple of things on that play, Andrew, that I've noticed. First off, the pressure affecting the center with these low snaps.
It hurts. It absolutely hurts your quarterback. Like, you're taking him out of his rhythm, and you're making him have to make the decision a lot quicker, and he's already kind of thinking, oh, shoot, as he's getting that low snap. And so that was exactly what the Dons needed.
So first down and 10. Here's Ben Boyack straight up the middle on first down. And Boyack able to find a way to get 4 or 5. And we've seen Ben Boyack really provide a nice complementary offensive skill there to Spanish Fork this year on the run.
Yeah, Boyack is a big, powerful runner for them. Like you see it there. He's barreling into guys with reckless abandon. It's awesome.
Picks up 7. Boyack straight ahead again. This time it up for the first down to about the 42 to the 43-yard line. And that will move the chains here for Spanish Fork.
Yeah, those tough between the tackles running is huge for Spanish Fork. Again, it keeps the chains going, but it also gives you that opportunity to now, okay, we're resetting things, the playbook is open again. Now you can think about play action. You can think about doing things to get your receivers a little bit further down the field and get yourself a little bit bigger chunks of yardage.
First down and 10, ball on the 43-yard line. Parker Swenson ready to go. Here's the give to Ben Boyack. Fumble, ball's loose, and Dixie's got it. The Flyers come up with the turnover right here, and that just kind of changes the whole the momentum of after the turnover.
Oh, man, you get the key interception. You're thinking, all right, let's go. Let's get ourselves some points here, get ourselves a little bit closer in this game. And then, oh, man, to have the fumble, to have the momentum then shift back over to the Flyers, that one hurts for the Dons. And once again, they're going to have to step up here on defense.
That defense has been out there quite a bit tonight for Spanish Fork. And now Dixie will start at the Spanish Fork 42-yard line with Reggie Graff and Weston Manuelos in the backfield. 4 wide receivers. Man goes in motion. That's Mahi. Low snap again. And Mahi takes the jet sweep. Still on his feet. Mahi's going to be forced out of bounds after picking up about 7, maybe 8 yards or so.
Golly, this Mahi kid is phenomenal, as you see here on the replay. Again, low snap, which thankfully for Dixie they were able to get it dealt with. But not only the speed, but you see Mahi pushing through here to get those extra yards. Like this is a man that's got some speed, but he's also got a little bit of power to him as well. A great call there on first down for the Flyers.
Be second down and 3. Ball on the 35-yard line. 4 wide receivers coming here for Dixie. Says we have to be careful with that bubble screen right here. Schweitzer goes in motion. Here's Graff just straight up on the quarterback draw. I think he hurdled the defender. He gets inside the 30 to the 28, and that's a Dixie first down.
Once again, a nice read and a nice play. Graff is, again, he's really showing his athleticism in this game. You saw him do that little hurdle move, but also the key part of that play was being able to get that miss near the beginning, being able to juke his man out and then get yourself out into open space. Graff is he's pushing all the buttons right now. Other than that one interception that ended up being nothing, he's looked great.
First down and 10. Ball on the 27-yard line of Spanish Fork. Dixie trying to again take advantage of their second turnover tonight and end it in points. Here's Banuelos. He's inside the 20 down to about the 18-yard line right there.
Banuelos with a big, powerful run there. They really are. They're just looking really good on this particular drive. You'd like to see the Dons bring some pressure. That was the key in their last defensive possession, was being able to get into the backfield, forcing Graff to either throw it or just make decisions on just a quicker level. You'd like to see the pass rush of the Dons do some disruption right here.
Second one after a 9-yard pickup from Banuelos. Here's Graff trying to keep it outside, breaks a tackle, gets the corner, still on his feet, and he's going to dive for the end zone. He's going to be marked out about a yard shy of the marker. And there's a Don who's down in the middle of the field. That's Josh Traffney. Dakota Conway shaken up as well, but it's first and goal for the Flyers.
Reggie Graff once again. My goodness, he's so shifty. Like he was able to get through a couple of different tackles there, and also the speed to be able to break to the boundary and almost he was very close to getting a touchdown there. I thought that the stretch actually might have been there, but obviously they saw that he stepped out. But that isn't very athletic play there by Graff, and now they are literally knocking on the door of another touchdown here.
6:25 to go here in the third quarter, and the hard part if you're Spanish Fork is additional touchdowns really kind of becomes a backbreaker for you as Graff and Banuelos in the backfield here. They're going to give it to Banuelos, who doesn't get in. He lost 2 yards. Blaine Bradford, Bubba Rupena, and company getting there. Felipe Mackay as well, and that will force, they'll lose a couple yards there.
Good execution there by the Dons defense. Obviously, you've got two really great runners there in Graff and Banuelos, and they did a good job of reading it, knowing who it was going to, and then just gang tackling him down to the ground and being able to get that big tackle for loss.
So they'll try it again here on a second and goal from the 3. Graff and Banuelos in the backfield. Mahi in motion. Here's Banuelos, and again he doesn't get in. This time it's Moore, along with Oldham and a couple of others, Boyack and Sam Eektow getting there. And now it's going to be third and goal from, I believe, the 4. They lost another yard.
This is looking great for the Dons. And again, it's about knowing where they need to be. That was very solid assignment, sound defense right there. Just minding your gap, knowing where you need to be, knowing that whatever happens, you've got your spot. And they all did a great job of that on that play.
Mahi in motion again. This time it goes to Mahi. Trying to turn the edge. He breaks a tackle, fights towards the end zone, and he's still going to be short. They're going to mark it to about the 1.5 yards, and now we have a similar situation to what we had in the first quarter. Decision time for Dixie, 4th and goal from the 2.
Man, Mahi has got some power to him. I thought that was another tackle for loss, and he somehow wiggled his way out of there and almost got his team a touchdown. We'll see what happens here with the Flyers. They do have the option here of maybe trying to go ahead and punch in, go for the knockout blow, or, you know what, maybe you just go ahead and opt for the field goal. It'll be an interesting call here.
Earlier in the first quarter, Dixie couldn't get it in. Spanish Fork came up with a big stop, And I don't know in this kind of case, getting late in the third quarter with the way that Spanish Fork offense has been, I don't know if I just don't take a chip shot here and make it a two-possession game. If you don't get it in, I guess the worst-case scenario is it's 1st and 10 from the 1-yard line. And now we're going to see the field goal team come out for the Dixie Flyers.
Yeah, this is the safe choice. Obviously, you've got the lead here. You've got an 8-point lead. Go ahead and make it a two-possession game. Don't get crazy with it. You've seen Spanish Fork have some pretty good drives, and they've had to drive from really deep before and got themselves a touchdown on the opening drive. So go ahead and take the 3 points.
Not an easy kick here. High snap, they get it down. The kick, however, is through the uprights there. And Dixie, with 4:35 to go in the third quarter, the Flyers have gone up 24-13 on the Spanish Fork Dons. And now the Spanish Fork Dons have to try to find a way to get something going quickly here. Let's take a moment on Spanish Fork 17 and thank our sponsors who help out each and every week in making these broadcasts possible.
The Blue Diamond Auto Group, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, MVP Sports, Prime Mortgage Lending, Mikkel Christiansen Wise, Attorneys at Law, Two Jacks Pizza, and Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance.
We also want to remind you can catch this broadcast and our other replays of our broadcasts on youtube.com/SpanishFork17 and watch now on sfcn.org. Click on the Watch Now button, as we'll get set and ready to go here for a big possession coming up here for Spanish Fork to try to get something going offensively, as Miles Keenan with the kickoff. And this one is going to go to about the half-yard line. Ayera will return it, looking to make a play with his feet. Gets outside across the 20, and will just run out of real estate, driven out of bounds at around the 30-yard line. But still, better field position if you're Spanish Fork. And now the Dons, Andrew, have to try to find a way to do something to kind of get some offense going. We've seen Ben Boyack. The biggest thing has been those turnovers have been very timely and has hurt the Dons negatively.
Yeah, the turnover battle really has not been great for the Dons here, but this is a chance for them to be able to kind of mitigate some of those problems. You want to see Parker Swenson here get the ball to his receivers.
Ben Boyack straight up the middle on first down, and Boyack gets out to the 35-yard line, picks up a gain of 3, and it will bring up a 2nd down and 7 coming up here for Spanish Fork.
Boyack has been a nice boulder for the Dons, just a good, strong runner. He's done a nice job to just help them get those short gains that kind of keep them ahead of schedule, moving the sticks, getting themselves in more favorable positions.
Here's Noah Conway, who quickly makes the catch on the slant route. He's going to have enough for a first down to about the 46-yard line. Parker Swenson getting rid of that one very quick, as we'll see here on the Blue Diamond Auto Group replay.
Yeah, it's a nice catch here by Conway. He actually has to reach back to get that one, but Swenson still does put it in a place where Conway's able to get it. So that's a nice play, and those are the types of plays that Spanish Fork is going to need.
Here's Zach Buse on the carry into the secondary. He's got a first down to about the 41-yard line of Dixie, and Spanish Fork giving him a different look right there, and that's a nice job by Zach Buse in that fullback position.
Absolutely. It's kind of interesting. You almost want to say that Buse is the lightning to Boyack's thunder on that one.
And once again, Zach Buse again gets another nice 5 or 6 yard pickup. That's what Buse did in that game against Salem Hills. Spanish Fork was trailing, and he came in, started getting some carries, and just kept running hard and getting first downs. Spanish Fork was without Kimball Morley for a portion of that ball game. And here's Swenson back to throw. Pump fake gets it out to Morley out of the backfield. And there's a penalty flag that comes in. Morley's sent out of bounds right there. And a couple of Dixie Flyers nice enough to stop his progress for him.
That is nice of them.
And now we'll see what the penalty here is that was thrown there on the sideline. I think it's going to be against Spanish Fork and back the Dons up. I don't know is what the call is going to end up being here and how much it's going to hurt Spanish Fork. Ineligible receiver downfield brings up 2nd down, and it's going to back him up here to probably right around the 40-yard line or so. So they'll lose, I believe, about 5 for the ineligible receiver downfield.
Yeah, that one hurts because that was a decent play there. Like it was a good thought being able to get one of your receivers out in space, getting Morley one of the more dangerous ones out in space. But there's going to be miscues, and unfortunately, that's one of those times where a miscue happens, and you gotta regroup. You gotta be like, okay, yes, we messed up there, but you know what? We still got to do this. We gotta get the momentum back in our favor. So we'll see what they can dial up here.
Thing you'd like to see if you're Spanish Fork, Andrew, is some kind of a drive to give your defense a rest.
Yes.
They've played so much in the second and third quarters. Here's Boyack straight ahead, powering his way for a first down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That's really been Spanish Fork's best play. Buse or Boyack straight up the middle.
Which is not what you would think with this Dixie defense, but you take what's working, and in this case it is. It's Boyack and Buse, and it may sound like a law firm, but it's working out quite nicely for the Dons.
Dixie generally plays a lot of 3-4 with 3 defensive linemen. There's some miscommunication. Boyack takes the carry, and that one was kind of blown up from the start, and only getting a yard back to the line of scrimmage for Boyack. But Dixie's playing a lot of 4 defensive linemen and only 3 linebackers here this evening. And it looks like somehow they're going to give Boyack a yard. And it'll bring up 2nd and 9. 3 wide receivers. Here's Buse straight up the middle on the carry. Buse down to about the 24. Still a nice pickup to make it 3rd and about 5.
Yeah, nice job there to be able to just get some yards. It was a good read, of course, by the Flyers, but he was able to fall forward, get them some yardage. And this is 3rd and manageable. This is a situation where the Dons definitely can convert on this one.
Parker Swenson on the keeper. He gets it down to the 20-yard line. He's going to be about a yard short of the marker to bring up a big 4th down and 1. And I think if you're Preston Parrish and the Dons, you have to go for it.
You probably do in this situation, unless you really, really trust your kicker to do this. This is a short situation. You've already converted on 4th and short already in this game. Why not run it back and give yourself an opportunity to keep this drive going and potentially give yourself 7 points?
It'll be 4th down and 1 right here from the 20. A minute 40 to go here in the 3rd quarter. And Dixie jumps off sides, which should give a first down there to Spanish Fork without the Dons even having to snap it right there. There's a nice hard count from Parker Swenson. Gets the Flyers to jump.
Now the senior quarterback doing a good job there with his hard count. You clearly saw the jump there by the defensive end. So nice job to keep this drive going. Didn't even have to actually make a play, just doing a good job of using your words.
Inside the red zone here, and it's up the middle with Buse still on his feet, and Buse is down to about the 2-yard line. So the Prime Mortgage Lending red zone, the Dons are knocking on the door of it being in the end zone, and a lot due to that man right there, Zach Buse.
Buse with an absolutely powerful run. So powerful he almost took the ref out. The ref actually kind of got in his way. But here we go.
Swenson under center, fumbles the snap, and I somehow recollected it, but he's going to be stopped short. But I think there's a penalty marker, and I think it looks like the initial call is offsides against the Flyers. That was kind of a busted play. Which will hurt. It will move it half a distance to the goal. And if you're Spanish Fork now, this is kind of where you get in the end zone. You kind of have to now be forced to go for 2.
Oh yeah, you definitely are going for 2 if you score this particular touchdown to be able to keep it.
Parker Swenson a little shaken up, limping a little bit there after the play. Here's Boyack from a yard out. Can he get in? And we don't have a sign yet. Now we do. Touchdown Spanish Fork, Ben Boyack. And that is a big drive for Spanish Fork to end that one with points.
That is exactly what the Dons needed. Drive down the field, see that your offense is finally getting clicking, getting going. Boyack and Buse absolutely huge on that drive, and Boyack being the one to seal the deal and get it in the end zone.
Spanish Fork's just going to take the extra point attempt here, and Spencer Red puts it through the uprights, and with 43 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, it's back to a 1-score game. Flyers 24, Dons 20, and this is shaping up to be quite the fourth quarter here on Spanish Fork 17?
Oh, it's a dandy. It's a dandy. The Spanish Fork has made it a game. A nice drive there by Swenson and co. to be able to get points on the board. I do question a little bit the call there to go with the extra point. I thought that going for 2 makes sense. That way you cut it to a field goal. That way you could tie it with that field goal. Instead, they've now put themselves where they do need to get that touchdown to take the lead, to kind of get themselves in a place where they'd be able to kind of stay in the ballgame a little bit more. It's one of those things where I thought maybe the 2-point conversion would have made a little bit more sense there. But you know what? It's great. They got another point on the extra point, and now it's go play some defense.
I'd watch maybe for an onside kick here. Spanish Fork, we'll see if they can steal that one. Riker Barton with a low line drive kick. Walden takes it from about the 5. Across the 20 and breaks the tackle. Still on his feet as he spins out across the 30-yard line to the 31. Just looking at who was lined up on the coverage, I was like, boy, there's a lot of skill position guys there with good hands. So I wasn't sure if maybe you might not see an attempt there, but nonetheless, Dixie football on the 32-yard line.
I mean, at least give yourself the option, Get your skill players out there. Get some guys that if you happen to see a hole in the kick coverage, you could pooch it there. You could try the onside. Keep all of your options open. I also, once again, the squib kick wasn't what I thought would have been the best decision there. Again, they've given themselves excellent field position off of the squib kicks that have happened so far with the kickoffs.
Ball on the 32-yard line here for Dixie. And back to throw. They'll jump it out quickly to Banuelos. And Banuelos there will pick up about 4, maybe 5 there on first down. Just coming out on the little halfback swing pass there.
Oh, yeah. Again, Dixie's not doing anything crazy here. They're not doing anything earth-shattering. They're just using their playmakers. In this case, it's Banuelos, just getting him out in the flat and then letting him do his thing, letting him make a move, lower his shoulder, get a couple yards.
7 seconds on the game clock here. We're going to head this one. We're going to take this one to the fourth quarter here. We head to the fourth quarter here from Dixie High School. It's the Flyers 24, the Dons 20. One play could change the course of this game. We'll see if that play happens in the fourth quarter. You're watching high school football, Spanish 417.
Hi, welcome to Two Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
This is your home, your car, and you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance.
See your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson for your insurance and financial needs.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Start of the fourth quarter here on Spanish Fork 17. It's the Dixie Flyers 24, the Spanish Fork Dons 20. Great to be with everybody here from Dixie High School in St. George. Ryan Pickens alongside Andrew LaRose as we get set and ready to go. It should be a very fun and exciting fourth quarter. It's still anybody's football game, but right now Reggie Graff will try to make his best case for why the Dixie Flyers should win this one and advance to the state semifinals. Graff will drop back to throw. 3-step drop. Throws it deep. Has a man complete down the sideline. That is Miles Keenan. And that's a first down for the Dixie Flyers.
Man, an absolutely great read there by Graff. He's able to kind of fake the defense out a little bit on that throw. Corner caught biting on that one. Ended up getting absolutely burned on that play. A nice catch there and a great read by Graff.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Dixie at the Spanish Fork 33-yard line. The Flyers have been pretty much spread the field all evening long as Banuelos to the left there of Reggie Graff. And Banuelos, and it'll be Graff trying to get it outside, and Graff will get a few yards down to about the 30-yard line or so. It'll be a good pickup there of about 3 yards.
Yeah, see, and that was one where the defense did a much better job of accounting for Graff and accounting for what he does with his legs. It was knowing, okay, yeah, he's out of the pocket. there's not really any receivers in my area. I can go up and go get him, and that's exactly what happened. So able to keep that gain to a minimum, still 3 yards, but able to keep it pretty simple and pretty easy.
2nd down and 7. Ball on the 30-yard line. There are 4 wide receivers coming here for the Dixie wide receivers. Mahi goes in motion, number 3, and timeout's going to be called by the Dixie Flyers here with 10:38 to play. That puts them now with 2 timeouts left here. That's their first here of the second half. As right now, if you're the Dixie Flyers, you know that a field goal still keeps it a one-possession game, so you can bend but not break if you're Spanish Fork. But Dixie, on the other hand, they know at this point that really a touchdown here is needed on this drive.
Absolutely, yeah. For the Flyers, it's about putting points on the board, but obviously they would prefer for this to be a touchdown, and that would really help to kind of cement the game, keep the lead in a much better place. If you force it to a 2-possession game again, it makes it a lot more difficult for the Dons to be able to come back in this one.
So right there, we'll take a look here and see with 10:38 to play in the 4th quarter, what exactly Dixie and their head coach, Blaine Moncriz, will call up here. Moncriz won 2 state championships as the head coach here at Dixie before in 2012, 2014. The Flyers are very used to state playoff football. And it'll be 2nd and 7 here. Back to throw. Graff with the time, going for it all. Has a man out there looking for Case here, and he will see whether it's going to be complete. Touchdown, Dixie. That's going to go for 6 right there, and they went for it all after the timeout, and they get it.
Once again, Graff, just an absolutely beautiful throw here to the corner of the end zone. Cazier, one of his bigger targets at 6'3", goes up, jumps for it, and is able to corral it down. Wow, what an absolutely beautiful play there for the Flyers. And, man, that's a backbreaker for the Dons. That one definitely hurts.
Joshua Stewart will come on for the extra point. The left-footed kicker ready to go here to try to put this one through. Right here as snap is good, hold is good, kick is through the uprights, and with 10:29 to go in the 4th quarter, the pressure now goes all back to Spanish Fork here with 10:29 to play, and the Dons now finding themselves in a position here, Andrew, where they now need to find a way to come away with some kind of points.
They do, they absolutely do. On this drive, it's vital for them to even if it is a field goal, like they just have to have something here. They've got to get the offense going. They had this nice rhythm on their previous drive, using Boyack, using Buse, and getting Parker Swenson in some good situations where he could feel comfortable throwing the ball. That's the formula that the Dons are going to have to follow on this drive as well. Expect a decent dose of Boyack and Buse here, and expect Parker Swenson to make some smart throws, but also to potentially look for an opportunity to get the big chunk, to get the big gain on this particular drive.
I'm surprised we haven't seen a shot deep to Iera yet. We'll see maybe if that might be coming, as this kickoff will go to Iera from about the goal line. He's across the 10, now tries to go to the far side of the field, and he's brought down around the 15-yard line. A lot of sideline to sideline there by Iera, and right there, Spanish Fork will start inside their own 20.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you'd like to see Iera going a little more north-south, you know. You want to be able to make plays. You want to be able to potentially get the big gain on the kick return, but sometimes you just got to realize, I just got to get the yards that I can, and you wonder if maybe if he had just run forward, maybe they could have gotten a couple more yards on that one.
First down and 10. Ball will be on the 15-yard line. Here's the give straight up the middle to Boyack, and Boyack there will fight his way ahead to the 20-yard line right here. The tough part is, with a running game being your sense of offense right now, is playing from behind. It's hard because that clock's going to run a lot quicker.
Yep, time is of the essence, and so obviously you love to see good gains like that from Boyack, but at some point you got to air it out.
Swenson will look to throw here, throws it high, completes it. Has a first down. Iera makes the man miss. Stays up on his feet, still out across the 50 before he's brought down, and a nice pickup there to Iera on the quick slant. And there's a flyer that's a little shaken up after the play. That's Jackson Reyes, number 7. And a nice job there by Ayera just to keep fighting forward.
My goodness, what a show of athleticism on that play. That slant route, man.
Swenson gets this one out. Here's Kimball Morley. Tries to get out in some space, and quickly getting there to make the stop was Tyson Miller, number 4, and a couple other, one of the outside linebackers there for Dixie, getting there very quickly.
Miller did a nice job of reading that play. Again, you get that big play from Ayera, and then you think, okay, maybe we can do that again, kind of swing it out, get some yards after the catch, but that was absolutely read perfectly by the Flyer defense.
Swenson ready to go, throws this one, has a man, but Congdon couldn't hold on, and now it puts you in a 3rd and long here from the 47.
That one hurts. Just a bit underthrown there. It was the right read. It was a good route there by Congdon, but just thrown a little low, not able to really get the hands under it. So, oh man, 3rd and long. This is going to be a hard one for the Dons.
So we'll see what Parker Swenson can do right here. Swenson ready to go. Here's the give up the middle to Boyack, who will make it a manageable 4th down. But really at this point, there's no decision easier probably for Preston Parrish and the Dons here, but to go for it.
Oh yeah, you've got to go for it at this point. You made it at least kind of manageable here with it's looked like 4th and 8, but this is crunch time. This is go time. You're right at midfield. You're really not going to get a ton out of punting it. You got to get points on this drive. You got to figure out a way to keep this drive going. So this play very much could be the swing play of the game.
Swenson pump fakes to the back, takes a shot deep, has Ayera out there, and it goes incomplete off the hands of Ayera, and it'll be a turnover on downs, and now Dixie with 8:18 to go can chew up some clock right here, and the pressure all on the Dons defense to get a 3 and out.
Oh, that just absolutely has to hurt. He got the read that he wanted. Ayera, single coverage, burns his man, gets himself open, but just overthrown. That is a heartbreaker for the Dons, as now Dixie is able to get back on offense and can really just put the stamp on this game.
Flyers will have the ball at their own 48-yard line. 1st down and 10 here for Dixie. And here's the give up the middle with Graff, who will get a couple of yards, and then he's driven back. Ben Boyack looks like he was the Don there to make the stop. And it's not out of reach yet if you're Spanish Fork. However, 8 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. You don't want to start using those timeouts now, but you really need a quick 3 and out.
You do. You need the stop here in any way that you can get it. Nice job there by Boyack to be able to keep Graff a little bit contained there. Boyack has had himself a game. He has played his heart out at the linebacker position as well as at the running back position.
For the senior Ben Boyack, he'll definitely be able to, if Spanish Fork doesn't win this one, come off the field with his head up high as Tyson Miller is driven out of bounds a couple of yards shy of the marker there, and it brings up a 3rd down and about 2.
A nice read here, as you'll see on the instant replay. Once again, it's that jet sweep. They have so many great playmakers there out on the boundary, and this time it works to perfection. He definitely gets the yards that they want. Now they've put themselves in a nice 3rd and short situation.
3rd down and 2 coming up here. Really probably 2-down territory if you're Dixie. The pressure really off the Flyers here, whether they get it or not. Biggest thing for them, they just want to chew up the clock. A 1st down means another 90 seconds to 2 minutes off the clock. Ready to go here. They send Mahi in motion. Fumble, the ball's loose, and Dixie picks it back up as Graff able to somehow pick it up and dive closer to the marker. He's going to lose a yard, however. It brings up 4th down and about 3 coming up, and my guess is it looks like it's go time right here for Dixie.
That was a dangerous. Once again, it's that low snap, which they've just been struggling with in this game.
And now they look over to the sidelines right here. They could just be running the clock down, the play clock down, and now we're going to get a timeout Dixie. My guess is just trying to maximize the time they run down. And I don't know if I just wouldn't punt here if I'm Dixie and pin Spanish Fork back inside their 10.
That would be the safe and kind of the smart decision, I guess, as you will. There's some value to maybe trying to go for it to extend it so that you can kill more time. But honestly, you know what? They've done a good job against the Dons so far. And so why not just go ahead and trust your defense, go ahead and punt it, put the Dons deep in their own territory, and make them drive the length of the field to be able to kind of get this game in a place where it's a little bit more competitive. Again, as we're saying here, like the Dons, if they can get a quick drive here and score, this is still a ball game. There's still opportunity here for Spanish Fork to get back into this one, and it looks like it is going to be a punt here for the Flyers.
Miles Keenan, number 11, has done a nice job in the kicking game so far for Dixie. Spanish Fork is not putting anybody back deep, so I don't know if they're set that this is a punt that's coming here. Keenan at his own 41-yard line. They're going to get the snap off, and he does punt it away. And this is just going to bounce at around the 20-yard line, and it's going to be down right around the 10 or so right here. So not bad field. Not the greatest field position. It could be worse if you're Spanish Fork with 6:21 to go. I really wonder if we might not see that sideline route that we saw with Iera on the last possession. If he can get a good matchup and it can beat the corner deep, and you hit that on the home run ball there, boy, that could be a game changer for Spanish Fork.
It would be absolutely huge, and they basically had it on their last drive. It was there for the taking, and so do not be shocked if you see another deep ball there to Iera, or you see them maybe try to create some space for Morley to be able to break a couple tackles and go for a big gain. Again, the idea here is get it to your playmakers, get it to guys that are going to give you big chunks of yardage while still being smart with the ball. Don't get crazy, don't fumble it, don't throw any picks, just give yourself a shot.
Here's the give right up the middle to Boyack, and Boyack will fight his way to about the 15-yard line and pick up 5 yards there to bring up a 2nd and 5.
Gosh, I've been so impressed with Boyack. He's done a great job. Again, on both sides of the ball, he's been great at his linebacker position, but what stuck out to me is just how hard he has run as the running back. All of his runs have been big, physical, just bruising type runs, and it's been what the Dons have needed to at least give themselves a shot.
2nd and 5 from the 15. Swenson pump fakes, rolls out, looking down the field, throws that one towards the sideline. It's going to go incomplete, and Swenson takes a shot at the end of the play, brings up 3rd and 5.
It was a nice thought there, and Swenson did a good job of rolling out, extending the play, but again, just kind of threw it behind his receiver. Receiver broke right as he was throwing it, then had to come back to it. So it was hard. That was a difficult throw, difficult to be able to communicate that one.
3rd down and 5 as it's Zach Buse on the carry, and Buse isn't going to get it. And it's going to bring up 4th down and about 3 or 4, and you're inside your own 20, and I think Spanish Fork's going to run out the punt team here.
It's probably the smart option. Again, I know that there may be fans out there that are like, oh, no, let's just go ahead and go for it. The thing is, if you turn the ball over on downs here in this situation, you're basically gifting the Flyers points. And at this point, you cannot give them points. Make them drive down the field. And, again, trust your defense. Trust that you're going to be able to get the stop.
No return man back for Dixie, so Riker Barton just gets the nice roll there, and he will down it around. It will be down at around the 26-yard line here, which flips the field. But now that defense back out and needing a quick stop, knowing that even if with a 3 and out here, Andrew, you're getting the ball back probably around 3 minutes or so.
Yeah, you got to have it. You got to have the 3 and out. Otherwise, it's starting to get dicey, and then you're going to have to start thinking about using those timeouts. Again, obviously, Dixie has all sorts of weapons in the run game. You've got Graf, you've got Benuelos. Like, they have the weapons that they need to be able to extend this drive to get that 1st down and to kill the time. But just get some pressure, get in the backfield, and hope that you can just find the ball carrier.
Graf gives to Benuelos on 1st down, and this one not going anywhere as Benuelos dragged down, maybe picks up a yard or so there. Nice job by Spanish Fork, because it appears to be the Dons are just selling out on the run.
Assignment sound. Again, you know what's coming. You know it's going to be Benuelos, or you know it's going to be Graf, and so go ahead and make sure to just play smart. Do what you can to fill your assignment, fill up your gap, so that if if the runner is coming at you, you're going to be the one that's ready to be able to get that tackle.
2nd down and 9. Ball on the 28-yard line here for the Dixie Flyers. 2nd and 9, and it will be Graff, the quarterback from shotgun. Bonuelos next to him. Graff pump fakes, takes a shot, has a man, and Kazir somehow, I think he held on, he bobbled it, and then pulled it back in for a first down. Once again, it was the communication between the corner and the safety.
Man, Kazir has had some absolutely phenomenal catches in this game. Obviously, he had the one in the back of the end zone where he went up and got it. This time, it's having the awareness of knowing where the sideline is, bobbled it a little bit, still able to get possession of it, but also to be able to have that sense about him to know, oh, there's the sideline, get my foot in. Man, that was a nice tight window, and it was a great read by Graff. Again, that just knowing what the safety was going to do, looking him off, and then getting in a place where he can put that ball where Kazir could catch it.
1st down and 10, ball on the 48-yard line. Penalty flags fly here, and I believe we're having a procedure call here against the Dixie Flyers. And they'll bring back trying to pick up the audio there on the call, but 1st down and 15. They'll run back here 5 yards, and now the clock will begin to run right here. 3 minutes and 32 seconds to go in this one. Spanish Fork in desperate need of a stop, and then trying to find a way to score as you see the ball placed right there on the 43-yard line. Ready to go here is the quarterback, Reggie Graff. Here's the give. Bonuelos right up the middle. Look out. Bonuelos has a first down and more down to about the 35-yard line of Spanish Fork. And that might have been the backbreaker right there for the Spanish Fork Dogs.
That hurts. And as you'll see, this was a perfectly executed jet sweep there by Maki, who then not only sells the jet sweep, but then gets the block that really is the catalyst that gets Bonuelos going. And what an absolutely beautiful downhill run by Bonuelos. And that one feels pretty harsh for the Dons. That was a great run by Bonuelos. And now you're looking at needing to use timeouts. You're trying to conserve that clock. At least give yourself a shot that even if they do score, you know what, you're trying to fight. You're trying to keep yourself in this game in whatever way you can.
Spanish Fork uses their first timeout here of the fourth quarter right here. They have 2 remaining, and pretty much at this point what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to find a way to get a stop, call a timeout, and just let whatever time's going to run off the clock. Eventually, you're going to be out of timeouts or pretty close, and then you just have to let whatever happens after that just come off the clock.
Yeah, that last run by Bonuelos really, really hurts them, because now they're in a position where if they get a couple more yards, I mean, you're really close to getting them, in the red zone there, which maybe they would at least attempt a field goal or whatever it be. But man, if they are able to get a first down here, another first down, this game is pretty much iced.
1st and 10, Bonuelos, that's Graff right up the middle on the quarterback draw. There's another first down, and now that will have to be another timeout used here by Preston Parrish. The Dons only have 1 more left, and with 3 minutes to go in this one, it sure looks like Dixie's going to go back to the 4A semifinals.
Good heavens, that was a great job there by Graff, able to recognize where he needed to be, what his lane was, and he just went for it. He has great vision. As I've seen throughout this game, he's just done a good job of recognizing where he needs to go, being able to see, okay, where can I get leverage, where can I be able to kind of squirt out and be able to get myself the biggest gain. He's been very impressive.
31-20 right now in favor of the Dixie Flyers. The Flyers have the football right now at the Spanish Fork 23-yard line. The Dons only can stop the clock 1 more time, so now the tough decision has to be for Preston Parrish. Do we just use it on the next play, whatever happens, or ideally you'd like to hold that probably for a 3rd down?
Ideally, yes, that would be what you'd like to do, but man, after having to burn those first 2, it's kind of a crapshoot. I guess you kind of see what happens here on this first down play and kind of gauge it, and then decide, all right, this is when I have to burn it.
Graff ready to go right now. Bonuelos right next to Graff in the backfield. Man goes in motion. Here's Banuelos up the middle. He breaks a couple of tackles, and he's down inside the 15, down to about right around the line to gain for a first down. It's going to be second, it looks like, in about 1 coming up. And Preston Parrish, I think, just used his final timeout here of the half. And so now Dixie can take as much time off the clock as they need to the rest of the way.
Yes, they do, and that's you have to do it. Like, that was such a big gain. It's more like we just got to do what we can to stop the clock. Obviously, if it had been maybe a shorter gain on first down, maybe you're looking at an opportunity. Okay, well, we can hold off until it's maybe second and short, or ideally third and however long. But in this case, with how much was gained on that, you have to use it. It's kind of do or die time, and at this point, you just gotta hope for stops, and you just gotta wait for the clock to keep going, and you're just honestly, you're really kind of hoping for a fumble at this point.
This is our last football broadcast of the season. We've had some good ones here on Spanish Fork 17 this year. We started back on August the 17th with Maple Mountain Woods Cross, which was a good way to get the season started. We had some great moments this year with honoring the first responders during the Spanish Fork Salem Hills game back in September. Saw a great run that Spanish Fork has put together. Here's Graff on the keeper trying to get outside. He has the first down, and now really at this point here, 2:44 to go. Dixie knocking on the door again, back in the Prime Mortgage Lending red zone, and pretty close to probably putting the finishing touches on this one.
Yeah, this really has been an impressive game for the Flyers offense. Like, Graff really has impressed me in this game. Again, I can't stress how much I've enjoyed watching him and seeing what he's able to do. Again, not only with his legs, but he's just made smart decisions. He knows when to throw the ball. He knows on his read options when he needs to be the one to keep it, but he also knows when to hand it off. He's just been very poised, and it'll be fun to see what he's able to do next year, because he's just a junior.
Here's Mahi in motion. Graff tries to get outside, cuts it up in the middle, and he'll get a couple of yards down to about the 4.5-yard line or so, and that clock will continue to run for Dixie. The Flyers, they get the winner of either Park City or Skyview. The Bobcats winning their region, Park City finishing second in theirs, which will be a fun one. That one just got underway up in Logan.
Again, this is a great game for the Dons. Again, like, to be here in the state playoffs, to kind of be, again, reasserting the program, getting yourself in a place where you can have a decently competitive game here against the Dixie Flyers, who are a perennial contender in this region. Like, this is a big deal for the Dons and something that they can build on for next year.
3rd down and 1 coming up here for Dixie. The Flyers looking for a first down, and Dixie's going to have to, I think, use a timeout right here. And the Flyers they'll have one more timeout left right here following this right here. A couple of Orem's up 31-7 on Mountain Crest now, by the way. So the Tigers look like they're going to have a chance. No score update yet. Park City and Skyview just underway. Pineview up on Stansbury 48-28. So the Panthers look like they're going to advance into the next round of the playoffs. Those are really the only two scores really affecting this one down here at this point. With 1:08 to go in the 4th quarter, as you take a look at it for Spanish Fork, the Dons go into a pretty big rebuilding year at this point for what's ahead. When you really take a look at the pieces they're losing, Parker Swenson is a big piece of that, Trey Lofton, Noah Conway, Caleb Lundquist, Kimball Morley. These are big contributors, and those are just a few that I named, just going down the roster numerically. And here is a give up the middle, Banuelos, and Ben Boyack gets there on the stop, but it's, I think, going to be enough here. It's going to be 4th down coming up here for Dixie. So right here, looks like waiting to see here what they're going to elect to do here, as it looks like they're going to probably elect the play clock just to run down, my guess is, and then call Well, neither team has a timeout left. So 33 seconds to go here in this one right here. Flyers will have a 4th down play coming up here. Ready to go is Graff. Bonuelos right next to him. Low snap. Graff keeps it up the middle, dives ahead, and I think he's going to be short of what he needed. It's going to be close. And they're going to give him a 1st down, but it's going to be a turnover on down. Spanish Fork will get the football back here with 13 seconds left.
I mean, it was a nice stand there by the Dons, and again, something that can be encouraging as they go into this new season. As you were saying, there is a lot of seniors on this team, and those seniors can hold their heads up high. Like they played a good game. This is as I've said, this is a great Dixie program down here in St. George. This is a perennial contender in this region, and so to be able to come in here, to come into their territory and come away with a good showing here, I think is very impressive. And so for these young guys that'll still be around, this is a great learning experience.
Parker Swenson throws that one high and incomplete, looking for Trey Lofton. Brings up 2nd down and 10 right here with 9 seconds on the clock. As right now the Spanish Fork Dons will try to see if they can end it on a high note right here with a couple maybe positive plays. Swenson back to throw with some time, completes that one to Noah Conway. Or sorry, to Trey Lofton, but that is how it's down to 3 seconds here. No, it's going to go incomplete, sorry. It was like, clock should be running, but be incomplete, and this will be probably it right here. Parker Swenson will have Kimball Morley join him in the backfield. Don't know if they were trying to hook and ladder or something, but hard part is you got to complete that first pass right there.
You do.
Swenson will throw this one. That's complete. Now here's the pitch. Outside, here's Kimball Morley along the sideline, who will be taken out of bounds. And Dixie's moving on to the state semifinals. The Flyers defeat the Dons by a final of 31-20 here today. We will take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap this one up. We'll have our MVP Sports MVP of the game, and we'll get our final thoughts on the 2018 high school football season here on Spanish Fork 17. We'll be back shortly.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
This is your home, your car, and you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance.
See your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson for your insurance and financial needs.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, my name is Greg Driggs. I'm the local manager for Prime Mortgage Lending, where our motto is find a path to yes. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Christiansen, and Wise.
Well, the Dixie Flyers are very excited right now. The Flyers move on to next week's Thursday semifinal, where they'll get either Park City or Skyview. That one, they'll move on to play now at Rice-Eccles Stadium up at the University of Utah, where the site of the semifinals and the 4A state championship will be coming up the following week. For Spanish Fork, their season comes to an end tonight with a 31-20 loss to the Dixie Flyers. Ryan Pickens alongside Andrew LaRose. And Andrew, you looked at it early on, the first half. It looked pretty promising for Spanish Fork, but boy, those momentum shifts tonight were big. And tonight that shift went to Dixie, and Dixie took full advantage.
Absolutely. Every time it felt like there was a big momentum shifting play, it was in Dixie's favor. You think of that interception in the first half that really swung the game and gave Dixie an opportunity to extend their lead at the end of the half. That was huge. You think of a couple plays in the second half where, again, it was something that happened, and again, it's going towards the Flyers, and so it's a hard luck game, and it's one of those games where it's like, you know what, they played hard. They played their hearts out. They came out here to St. George and gave Dixie a run for their money, but they just had a couple plays that ended up not going their way, a couple of miscues, and that's all it takes against a great team like the Flyers.
It's a tough night, especially for Spanish Fork, to have so many things look so positive there for a few minutes, and then Dixie, every time a couple of things happen, like you mentioned, Andrew, you get Graff to throw his third interception, you come back down, and then your quarterback throws an interception. They cancel each other out. Every time there was one of those big plays, you could never get enough traction off those plays to make a big difference tonight. And for Preston Parish and the Dons, another step in the right direction. You advance further than a team has since, I believe, 2012 when they made the state championship game and lost to Dixie in the state championship game. So you have a step in the right direction. You go to the state quarterfinals with a very good team in Spanish Fork this year, one of probably the better teams they've had in the last few years. But trying to put it all together at the end of the season against a great team like Dixie. And it's a little bit different football down here in southern Utah. It's a little bit more spread. We're going to air it out. It's not quite that in between the lines physicality approach that you see from a lot of the teams up in Utah County. So it's a big kind of a shift and a difference here. But tonight, what was the key for Spanish Fork? If there's one thing you take away from this one, if you're the Dons, what do you take away?
I think you take away what they were able to do in the run game. I think that was huge for the Dons. Like we came into this game knowing that Parker Swenson had been kind of the catalyst for the offense, and he was still pretty good in this game. But the contributions that you got from Boyack, from Buse, from a handful of other guys that were coming out of the backfield as well, that is encouraging. If they can have that kind of effort in the run game translate to them for next year, that's going to make the transition for that next quarterback here at Spanish Fork a lot easier. If they've got a good stable of running backs that they can rely on and lean on, that they can get those big, those not necessarily big, but get the 4-yard, the 5-yard gains like Boyack was getting, just the barrel dozing type, get it through the tackles. If you can get those kinds of yards, it just makes life so much easier on the quarterback. And so that's what I would like to see them take from this game is, let's focus on the run game. Let's get that aspect of the offense going so it makes that transition to whoever it be that's going to be the starter next year, just make his life so much easier.
Our MVP Sports MVP of the game goes right along with what you were talking about, Andrew. There was a time tonight in that running game when it looked like Ben Boyack was going to take the game over. He had some nice runs. He then has the interception defensively. But it seemed like Ben Boyack at times tonight was saying, hey, guys, I know some guys aren't playing as well as normal. I'm going to carry him.
Yeah, he absolutely put the team on his back. He just, as I said, he exemplified what I was talking about, just that downhill bulldozing running. He had so many runs that I'm like, well, that's going to be no gain. And all of a sudden, he just keeps rumbling. He keeps going, and it ends up being 5 yards. Like, those are the types of runs that are going to be so crucial next year that's going to help with this transition. But, man, Boyack, not only on the offensive side, but his contributions at linebacker even tonight were phenomenal. He did a good job when he was the one assigned to Graff or to Benuelos. He got a couple of solid tackles and was very involved on the defensive side of things. And so that is a senior that went out on a nice high note. And so congrats to Boyack and congrats to the rest of the Dons on having such a phenomenal season.
It's definitely positive steps in the right direction for Preston Parish in his third year as head coach right here. Well, it's been, I hope, a successful season of high school football here on Spanish Fork 17. I know we've had a lot of fun with Andrew and with Chris Hurst, who is traveling for work this week. which is why he couldn't be here this week, but having an opportunity for our entire Spanish Fork Community Network team to go really kind of all over the place. We traveled a lot more this year than we have in years past, and it was definitely a lot of fun for sure. Unfortunately, tonight it ends on a sadder note with Dixie taking a 31-20 win over the Spanish Fork Dons. But for my partner Andrew LaRose, for our entire Spanish Fork Community Network sports team, and for everybody associated with high school football here on Spanish Fork 17, we hope everybody had a great year, and we'll see you in just a few weeks here for high school basketball on Spanish Fork 17. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time for more high school sports on Spanish Fork 17.